Well, we are back, huh? Back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we got a special guest.
Another one.
Yeah.
Special guest. Dom DeLuca.
What up,
is
man?
with us.
Again, second time.
Amazing. Second time on the show. First time was at the Adidas DOS
show.
Days.
Yeah, DOS Days
Yeah,
event.
yeah. You came on there. It was amazing.
That was a quick one.
On location, quick one.
Yeah. That was like a minute long, minute and a half long
minute
segment.
and yeah.
It was good.
It was good.
It was a quickie.
To the point. 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
9 Club Quickie. Yeah.
That's it.
You know?
Boom, boom, boom. Came in the back door and I left.
9 Club Quickies coming soon.
But thank you so much for coming, dude.
Thank you
This
for
is
inviting
amazing.
me. No,
this
thank
is
you.
great.
Thank you for inviting me.
Listen,
I really appreciate it.
Started off in Brooklyn. You had Brooklyn House.
Brooklyn
that
House.
was a skate shop out there. You owned it with Kareem Campbell,
Yes.
no less.
Yes. So I owned it with Kareem.
That's amazing.
Sorry
Sorry to interrupt, but now you Brooklyn Projects out
Yes,
here
Brooklyn
on
Projects.
Melrose.
Yeah, it's crazy that I left Brooklyn to come to...
Yeah, why'd you do that?
The first time, I guess it was, honestly, it was
The weather.
the weather and the girls.
Okay, that's a good...
That was God's honest truth. When I used to go walk on Melrose and hang out on Melrose, I'm like, what is this? The first time I moved to LA, before I had the shop, which a lot of people don't know about, is I moved here in 91-ish.
Oh, wow.
But I moved here and I lived with Scott Ian, the guitar player of Anthrax, because I worked with them. They're my best friends. And he moved out here in Huntington Beach, right off the beach.
No wonder you moved here.
Yeah, dude. So like
It's
coming
beautiful.
dude. I've been around the world with them, touring this, that, and other thing, and then I remember going there and
Roadie
for Scott and for the band, and I remember just going to his house. It was in between tours, like, hey, just stay here because we're gonna go to like Japan or Australia, something. I'm like, sure. So I was there for 2 weeks, and I remember waking up and walking down to the Sugar Shack on Main Street, this place, and I'm walking here, and I'm like, I'm going to the beach, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is like full on Baywatch. Like, Baywatch, right. No, it was. Right. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This I never seen it like this in Brooklyn or Jersey or anywhere on the East Coast. I'm like, yo. So I wind up living there for
Was
about.
it Baywatch or Babewatch?
It was Babe. It was definitely Babewatch, but it was Baywatch. You saw like the lifeguards were like David Hasselhoff, like holy shit. So it was kind of trippy, and then I was like, wow, I can.
You could do this.
I could do this, and then like I was there for 6-7 months, and then I got the job on MTV, and I had to like, move back to New York. But I always wanted to come back, and I did come back when I worked for the music industry. I was coming back.
Def Jam, right?
Def Jam, EMI Records, Roadrunner, and I mean I could say it now because half those record companies are out of business. Or I don't know people that work there, but I used to like take trips on their dime to find bands. But I would find bands, but I would go there because I would just like slay pussy, you know what I mean? I was like,
oh wow,
like on there.
Okay,
I would just come there because it's like, oh man, staying at like the fucking Beverly Hills Hotel, and you know, traveling expense. I would fucking just ball out at fucking 24 years old, 25 years old.
Right.
So it was like, it was living the life.
And you just mentioned, you were MTV VJ for a while. Headbangers Ball.
Headbangers Ball. Co-host of Headbangers Ball.
I don't even know where to start. Yeah. We've already covered 5 topics in 3 minutes. I don't know. I don't.
Start as a child.
Let's go back to, I want to know about the Brooklyn House in New York.
Sure.
In Brooklyn. Owned it with Kareem Campbell. How does this even come about?
So it all started with MTV. At the time.
It started with MTV.
It started MTV. So I always wanted to open up a skate BMX shop. Because I was a BMXer. I skated, but I was super into BMX. I was sponsored. I was pretty accomplished. And there was this one shop I used to frequent when I was a little kid called, and people on the East Coast would know this, called Marine Park Bikes. And it was a small little store. Like I think they were probably pushing drugs out of there. It was literally 300 square feet, 400 square feet, and they had some ill BMX bikes, but they had skate shit.
Okay.
And I got my first skateboard, which was a Schmidt Sticks from there.
Oh, sick.
And I remember this guy that was there. His name was Chiwe, and looking back, like, he was like a Christian Hosoi clone, his whole style, and this place, Marine Park Bikes, they sold Vision streetwear, and it was so dope, and BMX bikes, and outside, I just loved it. I started going there right after my pops died, so I had no brothers or sisters, and I found this community of like misfits, But that's how I got heavier into BMX freestyle and skating, because it was all these kids hanging out and smoking weed, and like it was kids, but it was in the 80s.
Sure.
It was amazing. So when I got the job at MTV, from hanging around Def Jam and working at Def Jam, hanging around the Beastie Boys and just being part of the downtown crowd, I befriended people like Sean Stussy and, Hayes, Eric Hayes and Stash and Futura and Don from Pervert and Eric Brunetti from Fucked. And these were dudes that had these streetwear brands, but nobody knew about. It was very, very niche. It was very, if you knew, you knew.
Sure.
And I used to get, and Rick Klotz from Fresh Jive, and I used to get all this stuff sent to me because I used to wear it on MTV. Oh, and back then, I was the only one wearing that stuff. I think the only other person wearing streetwear was later on was like Russell Simmons throwing Fat Farm in everybody.
Oh.
But I was wearing all these brands, and a lot of these brands were sending me free shit. So eventually my dressing room, I had a small dressing room I shared. It was literally like a closet. It was just filled with shit. So I opened up with two other friends first, my friend Dave and my friend Joe. We opened up a booth at a flea market at Caesar's Bay Bazaar, like a swap meet. It was called Brooklyn Union Gear Company in 92.
Brooklyn Union Gear Company.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because my two friends were in the mob. So it was like the whole union. It was
gotcha.
They were like straight up mobsters, like their family. So we were just selling the shit after like maybe like 3 months. I had no more shit to sell. So then it's like, well, let's open up a shop. And the person that helped me open up the shop was a guy named Vinny Raffa, who owned Dead End skateboards and Hood. And he was like, oh, I'll help you, this, that, and other thing. And then sure enough, we opened up Brooklyn House.
Okay.
In Brooklyn. And then after like 2 years of being the only skate shop in Brooklyn at the time, this was 93 and 94. 95-ish, I decided to come out here and I opened up Brooklyn House West with Kareem.
Oh, you opened a Brooklyn House West out here.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then Brooklyn, my friends left. They're like, here, take it. So then me and Reem had both of them. And then in 99-ish, I couldn't do the back and forth thing anymore. So I got rid of Brooklyn House in Brooklyn and just stayed out here. And then in 2000, I had like a meltdown. I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. Like I was still doing Brooklyn House. I was working in the music industry.
It's a lot going on.
It was a lot going on. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm over everything. So I quit my job in the music industry. I shut down Brooklyn House. Skateboarding was in a weird place at that time, 2000, 99. Yeah. And then in 2001, right after 9/11, we opened up actually 2002, we opened up Brooklyn Projects. 2001 is when I closed down Brooklyn House. I remember having it on a side street, and Muska, after 9/11, coming with his flag of America out of his Cadillac and like, America, and we were all fucking all hyped and shit and fucking sad same time. And we closed down in 2001. In 2002, we opened up Brooklyn Projects.
Okay.
Me and my partner who passed away, Murph.
Murph.
And then here I am still. I mean, it's kind of crazy. You know, I've been through the ringer so many times with so many, incarnations of my store. And it hit me a couple of years ago that, like I was telling you guys earlier, I wanted to throw in the towel a couple of times because it just gets harder and harder and harder, and you keep on reinventing yourself. Try to reinvent yourself.
Sure.
And I understand why skate shops go out of business, and it's become an uphill battle. But unfortunately, my passion became my career. This is always something I wanted to have, but I always made money working in the music business, working at MTV, doing consulting work for various brands. I've never taken a salary out of my shop.
This is like a passion project.
It's a passion.
It's
straight. And I do it for the community. I give out more than I receive. I mean, last year, my business manager was just like, dude, you gave out $26,773. That's the number exactly.
He knows the number.
He knows the number of wholesale product to your skate team.
Wow.
Now that's like 30. That's like $60,000 sales.
Sure.
But I gave it out because I want kids to skate. I've never told anybody no. Yeah. When I had my store in Echo Park, literally people thought I was dealing drugs out of there because there was no business out of there, but I kept it open because the community needed it. And honestly, I never sold everything I sold there. Thinking about it, it was at cost or below cost because the kids couldn't afford it. And it was so like, I don't want to say heartwarming, but it was kind of sad, but it made me feel good when there'd be like 3 or 4 kids, buddies. Mm-hmm. And then one buddy would get like the new deck, right? But then like 2 months later, that deck we passed on to his friend. And then somebody would get new wheels. And like each one of those kids had something they bought at the store passed down to them because they didn't have the money. And I felt so bad. And I used to give them so much free shit. And like, I remember my rent was like $1,100 over there, which is nothing. Right. But I couldn't even pay rent sometimes because I was giving out all the product for free or giving it at cost because I felt so bad because I wanted these kids to skate, you know? And I've been doing this so long and it sucks because, you know, you do something 25, 30 years, you have a 401k, you have a retirement.
Sure.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't own a house. I rent my apartment. You know, my goal is to build this up and eventually sell it, but it's still hard. I mean, I reinvented myself with Brooklyn Projects, and then a couple of years go by, and streetwear is a thing. So oh wow, okay, I'm good. I'm making money on streetwear now. And then by me doing that, it creates this little microcosm. And
Fairfax.
Then Fairfax opens up. Well, now I can't carry these brands because they have stores. Let me reinvent myself again. And I did that again. And then my lease is up. Okay, you want to stay, Dom? It's going to be $10,000 a month. I'm like, I can't afford that. Okay, boom. Brooklyn Projects, the original location, closed down. I then had Brooklyn Projects in Pasadena. That was hard to go to. Eventually, I lost Brooklyn Projects Pasadena. And then I became homeless for about 7, almost 8 weeks. I became homeless for 2 months. Like I was literally sleeping on people's couches, no home, just my car, all my shit in storage. And then eventually I sold some BMX bikes I had, got some more money together and opened up Brooklyn Projects again where it is now. But I remember, I mean, maybe they were saying it because they cared about me, but there were so many friends that were like, dude, don't do it. Now's not the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm just about to say you got one in Pasadena. You go on over here. It's like what?
They said, do not do it. It's 2009 now. Recession.
Sure.
Don't do it. 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 I'm like, dude, this is all I know. No, we'll give you a job. The hundreds. We'll give you a job here. Well, this one, we'll give you a job here. Well, I'm like, no, this is all I know. I want to do this. Yeah. I believe in this. I'm not done yet. I feel like I'm the guy that can hit the grand slam, but I haven't gotten that right pitch.
Yeah, right.
I wait for that pitch. Yeah. I've hit a triple. I even hit a home run, but not the grand slam. So I'm going to do it. And then you know what? A lot of people, I'm not going to mention names, the first 6 months, they wouldn't sell me. Oh. They'd be like, I think they were like, my friend Aaron, who owns Agenda, you know, one of my good friends, he owned Agenda. He got rid of it. He owns a network now. But he was the one that was saying, like, jokingly, after about 1.5 years, he's like, oh, you know, when you opened up again, there was like inside bets like, oh, how long is it going to last? 3 months, 6 months, a year. And it's like, well, that's cool to know. But they were doing it because they love me. They don't want to see me fail.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, you know, I like adversity. I like, give me something. You know, I like the challenge. That's all I know. I don't know how to like relax. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's so much to do. And I think a lot of times, and you guys know me for a long time, I think my mouth gets in the way of my good intentions sometimes. But I'm very passionate about things. And if I see something that's foul, I'm not going to be like everybody in our industry. They know it's foul, but then when the door closes and we're amongst friends, oh man, that guy's what a fucking jerk, you know, what a dick. I'm just like, yo, you're a dick. And
right. That's the New Yorker in you, though.
Yeah. Right. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, well, we're not going to do anything with you. Right. I'm like, okay, thanks. So it's been a struggle. I mean, but
you keep it real. Fuck it.
I keep it real, and you know, here's a shocker. I've never been embarrassed. The one thing about me is nobody can call me out for anything. I've been the same person for 30 years. You could say I had long hair, which I did. I wore tight jeans, which I did. The only thing I'm guilty of in doing that would be frowned upon today is my first store, Brooklyn House. At one point, I was across the street from a park, and I did carry Rossi's inline skates. I carried I did because
Keep the doors open.
Huh? Let me tell you, that was like at one point I was making like Nike SB money with that shit because literally the kid would come in, buy a $200 skate, then 2 weeks later he'll buy the $80 bearings, then 2 weeks later he'll buy new wheels, another $80, then 2 weeks after that he'll buy another fucking pair of pads, then 2 weeks after that, oh, the new boot came out, I'll need another new skate. And it was just like rich kids.
Did you get backlash from the local skaters there, or you just tell them straight up what was going on?
Hey man,
like
some of the biggest local skaters used to rollerblade. I mean, no offense, I'm not going to put you on blast, bro, but I have to. But Giovanni Retta used to rollerblade.
I heard that before, actually.
You know, he used to when he came to.
Gino Iannucci, he rollerblade hockey.
Hockey, well, yeah. But there were some skaters that, you know, they didn't make it, but they were really good in skateboarding, but they were like inline skaters. They would do like the K-rail. They would grind. They were in it, and then eventually they went to skating more. You know what I mean? So
you're telling me that all these people would buy rollerblades from you?
A lot of people would buy rollerblades that were skaters. Like, I don't want to put your names. There's two or three that would buy the white Arlo Eisenberg Rossi's and the Senate hoodie and all that. They did, but they were like 13, 14 years old. So I get it. And it was new. And it was new. And
you would see it around though too. People were doing it.
You go to the Brooklyn Banks, there was skaters and there was inliners.
Right.
BMXs weren't even there at the time. Yeah. So that's the only thing that I can be guilty of. You know what I mean? And that was for a good year and a half.
Okay.
But I also sold snowboards in there. I also sold BMX shit in there. Yeah. So I sold a little bit of everything to make myself money because I was 22 years old with a fucking store. You know what I mean? And if they're gonna, I kept the doors open for fucking 10 years. You know what I mean? And there was no foot traffic there. It was like you had to take 2 trains and a bus to get there because it was in the middle of boondocks, fucking Brooklyn, like in the middle of nowhere. So it was just like, you know, that's the only thing I could say that.
But you had to do what you had to do.
Right. But here's my other point. I was young, okay? Mm-hmm. Would I do it now? No. I didn't really know about integrity back then. At that time, I found out about integrity through MTV. And I remember when I had the shop and I had my MTV gig going into about 3 years into my MTV gig, 2.5 years. And I remember, because I had nobody teach me about integrity. You know, you don't, it was different back then.
Sure.
And I remember being on MTV and I had to do this album release thing every month. Or every week. These records are coming out this week, blah, blah, blah. So I remember talking about, I think, Cinderella, the band Cinderella. I'm like, oh my God, the new Cinderella, blah, blah, blah. I had to pump it up. Exactly. I hated them, And I remember going out that night or that week and some of my friends, first, Scott from Anthrax who's like my best friend. He was with somebody. I think he was with maybe Kirk from Metallica, and they were looking at me and they're like, dude, Cinderella, really? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, you're really waiting for that Cinderella record? And I'm like, no. They're like that. And then kids would then fans like, yo, Cinderella. I'm like, whoa. And then I started having this epiphany. I was like, holy shit, wait.
People are watching.
Yeah, people are like, what the fuck? And then I talked to Scott and Charlie, man. I was like, yo, like, I don't get it. They're like, yo, like, you can't do that. And then at the time I worked at Def Jam. Also, I had the shop, Def Jam, and MTV.
Oh, jeez. Wasn't MTV paying you good wage?
No.
Really?
Whoa.
If I told MTV was paying me
$500 a day.
200. It was 200 after taxes. It was 280. It was 280 a week. I do one shoot a week. So for every shoot, it was $283.
Oh, wow.
So at the end of the day, I'm making, fucking 12, like $1,000 a month.
But this is back when MTV was killing it.
But I was doing one show only. And I wasn't like during prime time.
Was that, did anyone get like traffic come into your shop because of you being on there?
Yeah, a couple of people. I mean, it happened later on, after like year 2, it really started. Like people would come to the shop and then people will come to shop more because I have my boy like Simon Rex, who was on Dirt Nasty, or like Eric Neese from The Grind. They would come to my shop and like people would follow, but I learned about integrity through that because then at Def Jam, I remember years later, I said something. We'd have A&R meetings, right? And this was when Def Jam went with Island Def Jam, right? And I remember sitting in the A&R meeting, and you would go in A&R meeting, and everybody would bring their music that they want to sign.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what do you think? Oh, I like it. Oh, I like it. Da da da. Okay, so they brought some stuff, and the hidden unspoken rule is, I got your back, you get my back, you get his back.
Okay. Oh.
Everybody say yes, so we still keep our jobs and get our project signed. So I did that. And I remember Leor Cohen, who was like the president, Russell's partner, pulls me aside that night on the way home. He's like, hey, let me tell you something. You're in the big leagues now. I know for a fact you didn't like none of that shit, but you said, and he was like my dad. He's like a father figure to me. He taught me a lot. I go, no, I think it all sucked. He's like, well, why'd you say it? I was like, because I'm just going along so they could say yes to me. He goes, well, you know what? I don't want you doing that. I hired you because I want you to be the truth. And if they hate you, because this was going to happen. If I sign all these bands and they all fail, and then you complain like, yo, well, I'm going to tell you, like, you said it was good too. So what the fuck? So then between those two things, I was like, you know what? Integrity.
Yeah.
That's why to this day, no offense to any skate shop out there, to this day, I have never, ever, ever, ever sold a shop board.
Oh, really? Yeah.
To this day, I do not sell shop boards. I'm stupid, but I feel if I sell a shop board, well, $35, $60, you're taking away from a pro.
Sure.
You're taking away from Mashad. You're taking away from, whomever, Dane, whoever. You're taking away money from them because a kid, and it trips me out when I go in certain shops, which will remain nameless, that even some pros own. You go into the shop and there's 30 boards on the wall that are shop boards and like 10, 15 boards that are like pro boards. It's like, yeah, I get it, you make more money, but you're killing the sport. It was like in the late 90s, it was like the blank craze, the mini logos.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't sell those because Kareem was like, the fuck you gonna sell those? We're selling Menace, we're selling World, we're selling,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he gets a royalty on that.
So I still don't. And certain brands recognize that. Yeah. Like Deluxe, Jim Thiebaud.
Oh yeah.
He gives me like extra love, and NHS, and they recognize like, wow, like, he's in it for the long haul.
Sure.
And I'm very passionate about it, and I have my integrity. I'll never ever ever I'll never back down from that. And that's why I'm kind of like the unspoken most hated man in the industry. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people I meet later, like that I know of, I never met, they'd be scared to talk to me. Not scared, but like, oh, this person said he's a dick, and but then when I meet them like later on, like, yeah, man, like, yeah, like so and so said that, like you're this and that, like you're fucking cool, like,
Hell yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know that, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like I just speak my mind, and I say it for a reason. I don't say it just to hate, like we were saying before. I just don't hate because it's like, so.
Like it's a reflex.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I want to be loved by everybody. I want everybody to love each other. I want like synergy, but it's just like, I've done so much for the industry, and a lot of people in the industry, they've used Brooklyn Projects as a stepping stone.
Sure.
And Brooklyn House.
Yeah.
Because, even like the big slap in the face, and I didn't even bring it up. These are some pro friends that were on your show that are good friends of mine. They even brought up, like when they did the movie mid-90s.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill goes on there and starts saying, yeah, I was around the skate scene and everybody used to hang out at this one shop, Hot Rod in Westwood. No, dude, nobody hung out there. It was what you're emulating with the characters trying to be like Billy Valdez, and this one's like Reem, and this one's like Keenan. That was Brooklyn House on Melrose. Right. In the 90s, there was no other skate shop. When Renee's closed, it was Brooklyn House. Nobody went to Hot Rod.
Well, people were hanging out at Hot Rod. I was one of them, but it was before.
It was you and fucking Anthony Van Engelen. That's the only people that.
Robbie McKinley and Cameron Postfruit. It was we had our crew. It was a different crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. It wasn't. People would go in there, but it wasn't.
Of course, but it wasn't
out.
like the scene at Brooklyn House where those guys were drinking. I mean, I have videos of them hanging out, drinking, constant hanging out there. Fucking this.
Well, they all lived over there,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like they're bringing it up to me, like, dude, that was like that was like Brooklyn House, and the fact that they didn't like. I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. I get it. He's got.
But they didn't even give Hot Rod any love either. It wasn't the skate shop. Wasn't Hot Rod.
They called it Motor. You kind of, you knew.
They made up a skate shop to depict what was.
That was kind of like every skate shop in the early '90s.
What?
Whatever. Just like kids hanging out there.
Of course, but as far as like, I used to go around in the '90s to certain shops. You wouldn't see. You come into my shop any day of the week. Sure enough, there's Keenan hanging out there. There's Gino, Eric Kopecki, Billy Valdez, Fabian Alomar. They're all hanging out there drinking. Justin Pearson when you come to town, Howard Hunter, Peter Bisi, all hanging out.
Yeah.
They all hang out there. That was like their go-to. And then we'd all go out because I was the key to get into these fucking A-list clubs. Yeah. So it was like that's where everyone would meet up. And that was the there was other shops that had their pros and then whatever.
Yeah. I'm just saying that like skate shops in general are always like a hangout spot.
Yeah.
Like
I heard you wanted too much money for them to use your name in the movie.
Hey man, if $1.2 million is too much money, sorry, I would have knocked. See, I need you as my agent. You could have knocked it down.
I could have.
Tell me more about those days, dude. Please, or tell us about like with Keenan and those guys there. That must have been the coolest shit ever.
I could tell you a funny story with Keenan and Keenan. Who else was there? But I had this reputation of, oh my god, this is so fucked up. But so I was younger and in my 20s, and there was a lot of like single Hollywood moms in their 30s that had kids that were like 12, 13 years old. And they would drop off the kid at the shop and I would take care of them. They'd hang out like, oh my God, my kid had a great time. He saw Guy Mariano and Kareem Campbell gave him a pair of sneakers.
Did you have the ramp back then too? Or no?
I had no ramp back then. This is Brooklyn House.
This is Brooklyn House.
No, we had nothing.
Gotcha.
We had a backyard that we had a barbecue and beers. Yeah. That's it. And I remember there was this one kid and he had a really hot mom and she really was into me. And I remember
she watched Headbangers Ball.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. This is actually you. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. So I remember like
brown chicken, brown cow.
The kids in the front hanging out with like the other kids and like Guy and whomever's outside hanging out. And then like, I start like catching head from his mom. And then Keenan walks back there and I'm sitting in the back and I was like, dude, get the fuck. He's like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, just get the fuck out, just go. and then she's getting all embarrassed, so she gets up and she leaves, and he's like, dude, that's wrong, dude. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you got a little dude out there and you're getting head from his mom? Like, that's just wrong. She's gonna kiss him after that. I'm like, God. I'm like, well, all right, I guess.
If it's not Tom, it's someone else.
So it was like, that was like a, funny story, and, that was one of them. Another one happened where
oh my God.
we had
a toothbrush on as you leave.
we had a skylight in the shop, and I remember we went to New York, and some of the kids were fucking around, and this kid fell through the skylight, and he fucking cracked his head open and was bleeding.
Oh shit!
And like they called me. I was in New York. They're like, what happened? What did we do? I said, first of all, did you call the ambulance? They're like, yes. All right. Drag his ass out and said he fell on the fucking street. And clean up the blood. You know what I mean? So we dragged him out, and this kid's name was Robert, and he's fine now. I still see him actually.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to fucking have this kid sue me and shit like that. So but
why was he on your roof?
I know.
They took his sneakers and threw him on the roof. And then he climbed up to get his sneakers, and he tripped and he fell in. He fell 16 feet straight to his his back onto his head.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, back then, those days were fun, though, like with Keenan hanging out there and Gino and Eric, Kopecki and Costin and, Tim Gavin and Kareem and fucking Billy Valdez and Fabian Alomar, Shiloh Greathouse.
It's amazing.
Jason Dill used to hang out there all the time. Fucking, it was just like a party. We would meet there, and then we would go to the clubs. Muska was a big part of it, and it was just like, Schizo, everybody knows Schizo?
Oh, yeah.
Let's not say his name 3 times, it'll fucking pop up.
I saw him a couple weeks ago on the beach.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That guy, he's an anomaly.
Let me ask you a question, because I think the skate shop thing is very interesting. I mean, you've been doing it for so long. And like, the landscape's constantly changing, right? Now we got online. A lot of skate shops are dying. Maybe some are thriving in certain areas. It depends. But like, how, as a skate shop owner, how are you navigating and staying in business and not closing the doors? Like what
especially
like,
a high, that's a lot of money that you probably pay for rent and stuff like
you're
that.
You're on Melrose.
Dude, my rent is
psycho.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, my rent, I'm not embarrassed to say it's $7,250. It's $7,300 a month.
Okay, that's less than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
but still,
but then when you
that's
have
a lot.
When you have like
for a skate shop,
when you have my monthly expenses, rent, employees.
Oh yeah,
it's about 22,000 a month.
And how do you do it though? How do you? I mean, listen, you got the ramp in the back, which is great. Like it brings people in, skates. I mean, maybe a lot of people want some free grip tape and free shit and some shirts and whatever. But like, how does one navigate nowadays? It's I don't think anybody knows the answer, right? It's tricky.
Nike SB, but you know what? A shoe brand, we had this meeting and the new people at the shoe brand, some new people, not the old heads, some new heads that don't know, they're like, Brooklyn Projects, why are we going to do something with them? Like, well, we already did a bunch of shit with them, but they're like a streetwear brand. It's like they're a streetwear shop. They're not really a skate shop. And it's like, see, that's the attitude. Like a lot of shops would be like, oh, streetwear. It's like when shops are closing in the early 2000s, it's because streetwear was big, but streetwear got its roots from skateboarding. I mean, Diamond is a streetwear brand, but it's a skate brand.
Sure.
Yep.
But, brands like 10 Deep, The Hundreds, Fresh Jive, Stussy, those all streetwear brands, but they all have roots in skateboarding somehow, some way, and that's what the kids wanted.
Yeah.
I think with me, it's constantly trying to find that new brand. I mean, here's the thing. If I drop certain brands that make me money, like right now, what makes me money, Brixton, Obey, Huff, my own Brooklyn Projects line does great. Okay. So if I dropped Huff, or Obey and Brixton, like say, then there'll be 2 or 3 cool guys skate brands that would be like, okay, we'll sell to you now. But do I want to like get rid of you? These guys which make me a lot of money to have your drop of 3 t-shirts and a hoodie every 6 months in my shop? No. And when the kids come in asking for your product, I'm like, I tell them straight up, I go, well, no, they're too cool to sell to us, but I have these other 14 brands here that are way better than them. And eventually they all come around. There was like 3 or 4 brands that I tried to get, when they first came out and they were really, really hot. No. And then like people will come in, like sometimes their actual pros would come in. Yo, how come we don't carry our brand? I'm like, because your brand's too fucking cool. And then sure enough, they call me.
Right.
Hey, do you want to? I'm like, yeah. There was 1 or 2 brands after a while. I'm like, even though I'm a fan, I would love to have them. The fact that they were dicks and they didn't even fucking answer me my emails. I was like, yeah, I don't want your brand. I tell them like, your shit's whack. You too fucking busy to fucking answer an email. I can get an answer from Jay-Z quicker than I can get an answer from you. Fuck you. You know what I mean? That's how I gauge things. If I can call like Jay-Z and take like 2 days again on him on the phone or a text or anybody or Bieber or whatever, if I can get them on a fucking phone,
right,
and you can't answer an email, the fuck out of here.
That's frustrating for a skate shop, especially one that's, I mean, you have so many roots in skating and
I know it's
coast to coast and everything.
It's
right.
Yeah, man. It's not even frustrating anymore. It's really, really, it's honestly, it's really, 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 really sad. Yeah. It makes me depressed. It really does. I went through a really bad bout of depression years ago because, think about like if you help Roger, you help him get to be the fucking president of a fucking media company, like say, right? Okay, you helped him. And then now for him, he could just be like, oh, yeah, you know what? Here's a little something. Here's just a little.
Sure.
The crumbs.
Yeah.
The crumbs. But for you, the crumbs is a whole fucking meal. To him, it's not even a thought.
Yeah.
But he won't even do that. But you helped him get to that point.
Right.
And him just going like this can kind of change your life a little bit. But he won't. You're like, wow, man, what the fuck did I do to you except give you, I helped you get to where you have to be. Like, what did I do to you?
Yeah.
Did I fuck your mother? Did I steal from you? Did I bang your sister? Like, what did I do? I did nothing. Right,
Watch out now. Hey.
You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
But you, like you said, you in the last a couple months or something, you wanted to throw in the towel. Like
I did.
How? Like
it's. Just,
I'm just trying to understand.
I didn't throw in the towel.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to understand.
Well, does
the skate shop?
I'm sorry. Does that have something to do with your location of where you are compared to like the other shops around you?
There's no other shops except Supreme, but there's not even a skate shop. Name a skate shop you go to that doesn't put together skateboards. I'm waiting. Okay, if you're a skate shop, you should be able to put a fucking skateboard together.
Yeah.
You know, people would give me shit on Yelp because kids would come in with Supreme bags. Here, at first, I would put it together. No problem. Here you go. Here you go.
Yeah.
But after a while, I'm like, yo, why am I cleaning up your shit? It's like, no. It's $25. It's $50.
Charging them.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's expensive. I'm like, well, if you know what, buy your fucking shit from a real skate shop. They're a brand. Look who waits in line. Ain't no skaters. It came in on the legs of skateboarding.
Yeah.
It came in. It helps skaters get to be who they are. But at the end of the day, let's call it for what it is. If they didn't pay certain skaters, they have a bank book. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If Louis Vuitton wanted to start a whole skate team and throw out millions and millions of dollars, we've seen this before. We've seen stupid brands come in like Skechers and stuff that we'll write you a fucking check, $100 million. You know what? Give me a bank account.
Ryan Young's like, yeah, let's do this.
Dude, let me say this, okay? I'm not talking shit, okay? This is like perfect example. And I'm not comparing the two. But remember Asphalt Yacht Club?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Why did they get those riders? It wasn't because they were the cool brand. Stevie had a lot to do it, but at the end of the day, like, yo, we'll give you 10 grand. We'll give you 20 grand. Yeah. So Supreme, okay, take away the money, take away getting free clothes that you could flip for a couple $100. What do you have? And it's like, they do right by hiring skaters to run it. I mean, my best friend, one of my oldest friends, Jeff Pang, runs Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Reese Forbes runs Frisco.
Hav.
Yeah. I love that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. But it's not what it used to be. I'm happy they're giving it back that way. But I remember like we were just talking about it. I forgot who I was talking to, but like when their Cherry video came out.
Yeah.
It's a fucking video. Why not offer it to skate shops? And James is like, no.
Oh.
No. Like, why not? I know you want to keep all of it, but it's a fucking skate video. You know, if you would have gave your skate video to when skateboarding was going down the tubes, if you would have gave, forget about Brooklyn Projects, take me out of the loop. If you gave like shops like Black Sheep, fucking Humidity, fucking, Familia, fucking Atlas, whatever. Here's the fucking Cherry video. You guys are, it's not online. You guys have it, whatever.
It would help them.
It would help them. Bring 10 kids in, like, okay, cool. But they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are they doing for skateboarding other than fucking, paying kids to ride for them and giving people like jobs? I mean, I love it. I love that Pang has a fucking job running a company. I love that Reese is doing it.
Yeah.
But what are you doing for the community?
Right. Well, take all that out of the equation, right? And now you're a skate shop. Mm-hmm. There's hundreds and hundreds of skate shops. I mean, that are closing their doors today. One got hit by a tornado. You know what I mean? Like, how is that? Like that they have to relocate and do all this. I mean, it's very sad. But it's like, how do you?
You know
online,
what, dude?
Like, what do you do? That's what I'm like. I don't.
It's not online anymore. Here's the deal. I never went online.
You don't have an online shop.
I sell just Brooklyn Products T-shirts.
Oh,
that's it.
Okay.
No boards, no whatever.
Why?
Because number one, you have to compete with. What, CCS?
Well, everybody else. Yeah.
So I think kids now, I see it. And people think I'm crazy, but I remember a year ago I told people, you need to work on your online store. I'm like, no, dude. The newer kids that were born with the fucking phone in front of their face, they're the ones that they want to come out. They want to be part of the community. They want to come and see it, smell it, get it now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's going back. If you can weather the storm, it's going back to the brick and mortar. Jeff Bezos, he he is opening these. He's going back to brick and mortar.
Amazon shops.
Right.
Yeah.
He took down.
Actually took everyone out.
Yeah, Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, now I'm going to open up my own Amazon shop, which is a Barnes and Nobles with electronics. He's doing it now. He's doing supermarket. He sees it. He's like
coming back around. You think everybody's coming out of their house?
100%.
Yeah.
1,000. I see it. Here's a
But
fact.
also, like, you order so many things online, whatever, and you get disappointed. Like, oh, it wasn't exactly what I wanted.
Sure.
You still want to like go and touch and look at it and everything else.
How are you going to buy? And that's the thing. I never.
How are you gonna go buy a fucking like?
Unless you know and you've ridden that board 200 times and you love that board, you could order it online.
Right. CCS back there, the catalog, it was cool because it was new. You looked in the catalog, the pictures, you couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't no shops.
Yeah,
There wasn't a lot of shops, so you get it cool and you get to put the board together. But you didn't know any better. You know what I mean? Now it's like there's so many shapes, sizes, this, that, and other thing. You want to go and get it now. You want to wait like a week for your fucking board. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I feel like kids, look, my business has grown since 2018 to 2019. It's grown 13%.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like people are just not coming to me. They are. I'm selling more skate shit than I ever have.
Are you playing it out in your, like you said, you got the Brooklyn Projects
Brand.
clothes, right? They got the brand. They're doing well.
Doing very well.
Now, do you think you have an upper hand as well with, you have Bieber coming in the shop and you have like he's skating in the ramp and stuff like that. Are you planning are you in your head like, okay, listen, I got to focus on Brooklyn Projects brand. Like, let's do this. I think this can actually move and help the shop and are you planning 10 steps ahead or are you just going with the flow and whatever fucking happens?
I think, I was planning 10 steps ahead, but after the second step, it fell apart.
It's just
you can't predict what's going to happen a month from now.
Sure.
As far as Bieber, he's done a lot for me in the shop.
Yeah.
But it's also hurt me in a way.
Interesting. How so?
I'll tell you. When he started hanging out hard and wearing our stuff and tagging the shop and whatever, I loved it. It was great.
This was 2-3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
I love him. He's been nothing but a true champion of me, my shop, and of skateboarding. He loves skateboarding.
Yeah.
He actually loves skateboarding and hockey. And all my followers went from like 20-something thousand to 80, 90,000. Cool. But when Instagram started changing the algorithm where it would go by like how many likes you got, and then now when I would post a Bieber pic or whatever, 100,000 likes and this and that, but then those kids wouldn't like anything else. Oh yeah. So now Instagram was like, oh, this has got to be like some sort of fake account because he's getting on every Bieber picture or post, he's getting X amount of comments. But then here's another skater. Boom, here's Sasha Daly. It'll get fucking 1,000 views, not 100,000 views. Because Instagram was like, oh, what the hell?
Well, it's showing it on its explore page, and it's just the more shit that it happens, the more that it's being seen.
So it was hurting me. So then I was like, you know what? Then I was getting flagged a lot more because the people that were following me were like 12, 13, 14-year-old girls. And I would do something off candor and now like the parents like, oh, flag. I'm like, what the fuck? It's just like, so then I was like, you know what? I'm done. I deleted the Brooklyn Projects LA account.
Really?
Yeah, I deleted it. It was Brooklyn Projects LA. Then so I had Brooklyn Projects that was flagged before the Bieber thing because I was posting all kinds of fucked up shit. So I lost the account, right? And for years,
posting fucked up shit.
Yeah, I was posting really fucked up shit. Okay. And I was, oh, dude, you don't even know. I'll show you videos later. Okay. But then I was getting, eventually my account got deleted by Instagram. So I couldn't have Brooklyn Projects anymore.
Yeah.
So then when I deleted my account, this girl had it, a Bieber follower, like my name came up again. She owned it.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Her name was Madison, and I was like, she was like some 17-year-old girl. And I was like, yo, that's my name. And I tried to get it from Instagram. Look, I gave them all the paperwork. Oh, no, we can't. I'm like, she took it, and it's like she's reposting Bieber pictures on the ramp. Like she's like,
wow.
What? So yeah. So and she had like 10,000 followers. So then eventually I said to her, I go, look, I'll buy it off you. How much do you want? And she fucking hit me for $300. I'm like, yo, here.
$300.
Yeah. So I gave her, I said, okay, I'm going to send you the money. She goes, no, I get the money first. And then I'll give you the name, the password. I'm like, what? So she did it.
Oh, she did it.
Okay. And then eventually I got it. And then I started it again and I built it. And now I'm like 25,000 followers, but at least it's real followers. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and you're not posting Bieber stuff anymore?
I think once I've posted him and I don't even tag him.
No.
I just post and people see it, they see it. Because I don't want to.
You would think that a brand would be all over that.
Look,
you know what I mean? If Bieber's coming in somewhere, I mean, Bieber's got what? He's got a couple thousand followers.
A few.
Yeah, he's got a few.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I mean, that's a dream come true for some people, But you saw it almost in a negative, positive way.
There's no ROI. That's like,
Yeah.
if a brand started, like a skate brand started by Kylie Jenner, if she's like the backer, it's going to have 100 million followers, but that's not no ROI. All these girls that have like millions of followers are like Instagram models. Like
they're not buying Brooklyn Project.
No, but they're not even their own thing, their own brand. They don't have a brand. They're just getting paid by some rich dude. They're like hookers, but they have like 1 million followers. You know what I mean? There's no ROI anymore. So that's why a lot of people hit me up sometimes, like influencers. I got 100,000. I want some Brooklyn Project stuff, and I'm going to do this and this. I'm like, why? Who cares? Like, what are you really going to do for me? You're going to sell.
Yeah.
And you know what though? There's been some YouTube stars that I've tried just because they were homies.
Sure.
Yo, here, wear the shirt, whatever, tag us. That month, I didn't sell that shirt. I mean, I sold maybe 1 or 2 extra, but it wasn't like, oh, so-and-so's wearing it. I'm going to sell 100,000.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It's no.
Oh, we had Sean Evans wearing like 9 Club sweatshirts on
Hot Ones.
And then what?
Nothing happened.
But it was sick that people were tagging us.
Oh yeah, people love it.
That's
People
awesome.
love it.
Stoked he did
But
that,
even if you post something on Instagram and everybody's like, I want to buy that. When are you coming out with it? I want to buy it. You come out with it, and it's like you sell like 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I want that. I want that. You want it for free. You don't want it. You're not gonna
I get that all the time.
It's like a 1%. It's a 0.01%
exactly.
ROI.
It's really fake actually. This whole social media thing. It's just like, it's so
bizarre.
It's very bizarre because I mean.
Well, did you tell Bieber about that situation?
No, I didn't tell him because I was talking to him about it years ago. Like I forgot the conversation, but he kind of said something in a joking. Like I remember, I'm not throwing him under the bus. I'm not talking shit, but like we were doing something and I gave a bunch of shit to his friend, like a lot of shit, and then he posted it on his social media, like Bieber did, and this and that. He goes, and I'm like thinking to myself, man, this fucking kid took like $1,000 worth of shit,
sure.
and Bieber was like, I'm just looking, and then Bieber, Justin said to like one of my employees, like, oh, I would charge $100,000 for this post, and this cost, like, right. But loud enough for me to hear it, I was like,
Yeah. But that's the world he lives in.
People will pay him that much.
Right. Yeah. Listen, he's done nothing but help skateboarding. He really has. He's helped my shop. He's been a champion of my shop. He started that Drew
House. Yeah.
Drew House.
Sure.
He got like Dominic. He got like a bunch of fucking skaters riding for him.
Yeah. Dope.
David Loy, I think, rode for him. And I mean, he got like.
He's supporting skateboarders.
He's supporting. You know what? He's supporting more than Supreme is supporting. At the end of the day, because sorry, but you know what? He's apparently he's going to be hitting up all these skate shops to carry his brand, but he's going to do it right and try to do it, and we'll see what happens. I don't know, but the fact that he's doing it, you know what? I could say with him when he wore one of my hoodies. I had 300 hoodies on Friday. He posted it, whatever. On Tuesday, I had 0.
Wow.
Damn. Online and in the store, like gone.
Right. Wow.
Gone. People were still, I could still, I could have still made more and I was sold them all.
Sure.
So you know what? He's done a lot. I can't say he hasn't done. Lil Wayne has done a lot for skating.
Yeah.
Huge. Even like Travis Scott, people are like, oh, like, what's his name from, Gary from
Gary Rogers?
Gary Rogers.
Skate Line.
Yeah.
I love him. He's the best dude.
Yeah, he's good.
He makes fun of my shop saying people do coke in the back. We don't do coke. It's weed, motherfucker.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, exactly. One is green, one is white. But he was like making, he made a joke like, oh, Travis Scott, like holding the fisheye, holding it wrong. Somebody help him out. It's funny, but you know what? Travis Scott, him and Nike SB just put a lot of fucking money into skate shops and put a lot of fucking people in skate shops that would never, ever, ever. I saw skate shops that got it, and I was just curious as my own mental note that had like 6,000, 8,000 followers on Instagram. I looked back today or yesterday, 12,000, 14,000.
Wow, yeah.
They double. So he did a lot for skateboarding with Nike SB. So talk all the shit you want. He put money in the fucking register. He put eyes on the skate shop. And now he set the bar high. Like, Nike, what do you have next? You know what I mean?
Well, there's always keyboard warriors out there. I mean, we did Justin Bieber with Lil Wayne. I mean, we had Lil Wayne on the show.
I know, it's great.
And a lot of people were like, oh, God, I had the whole wrong idea of this dude. Like, he actually is a skate rat. He's a fucking skate fan.
Skates better than me.
Loves it.
I mean, he's really, really good. He used to skate at my he's really good, and he was a fan. He learned how to, this guy did not know how to skate.
For me, it's not about being good, right? For me, it's about riding the board and being in love with it.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy lives and breathes skateboarding. He took skaters on the road with him. And
Dude, he came on our show and was like, oh, yeah, I love John Dixon. I'm like, not what I expected Lil Wayne to say.
Yeah.
Like, after his shows, he's going out skating all night.
Yeah, he took skaters on the road to go skate during the thing. And
Right. So there are always going to be those warriors that, fuck these dudes and whatever. But, like you just said, like Travis Scott put a lot of money in these skate shops' pockets.
So much money.
Yeah. Which is great for the skateboarding community.
More than, of course, he did. Like I said, he's done more for skating than a lot of companies have done for skating.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? Because everybody's a purist.
I wonder if he realizes that. Do you think Travis Scott knows that he's...
Not at all.
No? I don't know. Are you dumb?
Yeah, who tells him that though? Does Nike SB tell him, or does
I think
he comes into the
shop
Projects.
and he came in right after the release, the day after. And we were just talking. He's like, I was like, yo, thank you. He's like, he's like, oh, how'd I do? I said, oh man, dude. He's like, yeah, dude. Like, I heard. Like, he was like, he was happy. Yeah, he said, because I'm happy like helping out skate shops because there was a pushback. If you notice, every Travis shoe was available at other shops and available online at sneakers.
Yeah.
Pretty much a lot of hot Nike Dunks were available on the sneakers app.
Yeah.
Travis like, no. Handful of skate shops, no online. I'm going to sell it first, sell it out, and then everybody's going to have to go to the skate shops and get it.
Oh, that was his idea.
That was his idea. Wow. And he pushed back. He's like, nope, I want to give it back to the skate shop.
Why is that? Why is he so, does he skate or did he grow up skating? Or I don't know much about Travis Scott, so I'm not really sure.
What? I know
He's
that
a fan.
I know that he has a hundreds tattoo. He's a fan of the hundreds.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, the story I heard is like, he wanted to give back to skateboarding and Nike used that to go up to the higher Nike. SB used that to say, hey, we want to make this not available on sneakers. We want people to go into the shop. And it did. It worked.
Right.
Everybody got what they wanted. Travis got his shoe. Mm-hmm. SB got the hype and got people like, yo, we're fucking back and in the biggest way ever. And skate shops got fucking thousands of people. You saw the
Instagram posts.
Instagrams, and then people, don't stop calling the shop, stop DMing us. Yeah. It's like, on one hand, I get it because I was getting a lot of phone calls, but at the end of the day, you never you think that you were giving free blowjobs out like for some fucking porn star. You know what I mean? Like it's like you never. I know I'm embarrassing you. It's okay. Stay with me.
Raj is
keep going.
I look here. You'll forget about it.
I'm loving it.
Raj is turning red.
Yeah,
he did a lot. I mean, dude, it's like. There's still like a flux of people coming in that come into the shop.
It's amazing.
Today somebody came in like, you got any of those Travis shit? I'm like, no. Oh man. And then he's looking around and he wound up buying a Brooklyn Products t-shirt. Amazing. So I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, well, how does that work though with people coming in? Do they have like it's a raffle or something like that?
So the problem that we were talking about was there's this app, which is a great app called Cop Date. Kind of weird name, but Cop Date. And it's just like, it takes away the headache of giving out raffle tickets or doing emails. And we've used this app. A lot of shops, Black Sheep, a lot of shops have used this app and it's worked seamlessly. Kids go on, they log on, they join like almost like a Nike sneaker queue, and then the system picks out however many winners, you put how many size you have random, and then they get the notification, then they pay a $5 fee or $3 fee to cop date. Then they come, it's great. They come in with their phone with a QR code. You scan it, shows their name, their size. It's already
saved for them.
It's right there, boom.
Sold.
Boom. That's it. Easy. No headaches, no lineups, easy.
Supposed to be easy.
Supposed to be easy. Well, all these shops started using it because this release was going to be really, really, it could be dangerous. Like the diamond release we had at the shop. Somebody, a gun got pulled out, people got beat up, people got robbed. It was insane. It was crazy. So we learned, like with the sneaker culture shit, it's serious stuff. When you could buy a pair of shoes for $100 and flip it for $1,000, I'm getting mine. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shops got robbed, by the way. A couple shops got broken into and their shit got stolen. Shit. So, this app was really good, but then it just got because it got so flooded. Yeah. It was just overload, and then nobody knew what to do. So shops started getting like, "Oh, fuck the app! Like we're gonna emails this app." It's like, dude, like I told people, I was like, "Yo, chill out. They're gonna fix it." So I would talk to the app, and you know what? Thursday night, it's already done, fixed, cool. People logged down on Friday. Okay, it is fixed, and everybody got their thing. And then you know what? The people that did the emails and all that extra stress and work, they had a headache. Me, people came in on Saturday. Boom, thank you, goodbye. Oh, thank you.
Right.
I love it. Easy.
Wow, that's
easy.
crazy.
It's great. Yeah, I was tripping out.
Because they used to just be like a line outside, and that was
not
it,
no
right?
more. Now the lines, it's like you cut me. I'm like, yo, like at the diamond thing, like I got into it with the dude because in the morning, as soon as we opened up. I seen the kids waiting in line. There was like probably before we opened up, like maybe 200, 300 kids waiting in line for, I think we had a total of like 200 shoes.
Oh, wow.
So, and then one dude just walks up, I'm getting mine. No, ain't nobody telling me shit. I'm walking right in front of the line. I'm like, yo, B, you ain't going nowhere. You're getting the fuck off the line because he's threatening these kids and these kids are just little sneaker. No. I was here first. I go, yo, man. I was here last night. I gave these kids water. You weren't here. And I got into it with him. I said, yo, if you want to go do something, let's go around the back and we'll do something. Wow. And then the cops came and then they told him to leave. But it got crazy. I have video, man. People are trying to bum rush the door. It was like you see those videos like of like Black Friday sales where people are beating the shit.
Oh yeah.
It was like that. It was like that. Yeah. Wow. So after that, I was like, nope.
That's gnarly for skate shops to deal with too.
Yeah, it was never like that.
Tell me more about this app, whatever. So, they know what product you have.
The app?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, they know what size you have. When that person wins the raffle, do they automatically pay for it? If they won, like automatically,
they pay for.
Do you guys get paid?
No. So they don't buy the shoe from the app. What happens is when you sign up for the cop date app.
So then if they come to you to collect their shoe that they won, and then they pay you.
They
pay me.
I feel like that the app, like you should automatically get paid for those people that like want it.
So the app to make money. Mm-hmm. So they get all this information. All these people sign up. So the people that win.
Data collection.
Oh yeah.
The people that win. So this app. There's stores on there. Me, Black Sheep, Commonwealth, Kingswell, whatever. Yeah. You have followers now. So it's actually a good thing because now I have
a community.
I have 18,000 followers on there. But these are people that want to buy. Yeah. So I can eventually go to them and go, hey, I have a Brooklyn Projects collection. I could send it to you. Yeah. These are people that actually want to buy.
Yeah. I feel like the app though should if that person wins the raffle or whatever it is, their credit card should be paid, charged.
But the problem is
get the money, and they have to come collect the shoes.
But the problem is though, somebody in Milwaukee can win the rent, and then now it's a whole problem.
It's a local.
These guys are coming in person to purchase
because then they don't want to touch the money because then they're going to have to pay percentages and taxes and all that. So basically, all they do is they collect. It's $3 actually. Yeah. So if a kid wins, they'll send them a thing. Hey, you won. It's $3.
The kid pays the $3
to them.
All right.
That's how the app makes the money.
You're not getting charged for
No, I don't get charged.
Yeah.
So it's a free app. So if there's 100 shoes, I mean, the app at the end of the day, they're only making $300.
So it's basically a $3 fucking entry fee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enter, so
It's so interesting.
But
I got a headache that day. I got a headache with it was a clogging on my feed.
Dude,
dude, what the fuck's
Clogging your
going
brain.
on?
And people were getting mad at us, like, yo, fuck Cop Day, fuck you guys. I'm like,
Well, do you think you're mad because they don't know how to use it, right?
yeah, at first, like,
It's not only that. It's like we're not sneakerheads. Skaters, most skaters aren't sneakerheads. The sneakerheads, they know this app. They know what the deal is. Us skaters, we don't. The fuck, I was going to a skate shop and buy something.
And you know what, dude? I think the skate shops were getting a little bit too scared. They didn't know what to do. If they would have just relaxed,
right.
like I did, it's like, dude,
It would have worked out.
it worked out. They said they're going to take it. They're going to take care of it. They getting their servers fixed. It was too many people. It was this,
Crash
this, and
the
this.
servers.
It crashed the servers,
Yeah.
and it's like just let it reboot.
Sure.
And what they did was, and we got some heat from customers, is on Thursday morning they shut down. The raffle was supposed to go to Friday. They shut down the raffle on Thursday, but they took all the shops off, like done. So kids like, oh, there's no more shops. Yeah, we closed the raffle. Stop trying to log on because people, they were trying to get sneaky. Like one kid DMs us. I find it hard to believe this guy fucking DMs us. This is the best shit. I find it hard to believe that I didn't get picked. I have 500 emails with ghost accounts trying to get that shoe and I didn't get picked. And I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Like it's reasons like that, greedy motherfuckers. So they were doing with all these emails and stuff.
Right.
And so once they got rid of all the shops for that whole 24-hour period, people are like, oh, it's not showing up. And I'm like, yeah, it's done. Friday comes, they put it back on. No more new raffles, but you can log on, see your place if you won.
Okay.
And then you got the notification.
Right. They calmed the servers down.
Yes. And then Friday came, they notified the winners, and I looked, and all the winners started getting confirmed. Then they say, pay their $3. I see boom. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. And then the kids came in, lined up, had their phone, scan, here's your shoes, thank you, bye.
What did I say?
That's it.
Wow,
It was easy.
it's a whole thing.
I loved it. It was the best shit ever.
Yeah. Well, you made a lot of money.
Man. So I bought a
Brooklyn
new
Project's
watch.
already. Yeah. They're building a second story.
Man.
Fucking-
Wow.
It's going to be a 12-story Melrose.
I had
skate
lunch
shop.
at fucking Sugarfish. I'm balling right now.
Yeah. You got the
man,
fucking
dude.
trust me.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
The Nozawa, baby.
Yeah. Love that. One thing that I wanted to talk to you about because I thought it was super interesting.
Yes.
And you're an interesting guy. Dog.
I try to be.
You've been
Very much so.
He's lived.
MTV, all these things, right? Skate shop, Brooklyn House, Brooklyn Project, clothing brand, everything.
I got a great story for you too. One more thing to add to my resume.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is a true story.
Let's hear it. Right. let me put this on the back. Okay, I got it. Okay. I remember the.
Has nothing to do with skateboarding,
Oh yeah.
but it was kind of cool.
Got it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
It's gotten me laid a couple of times back in the day. Like, so this is a funny story. So sometimes, like, listen, this is like 15 years ago, 14 years ago, when VCRs were still happening.
Oh, yeah.
And DVDs. We used to have after parties at my house. Me and my boy Greg and my partner Murph and Muska would come to my house after the clubs and with chicks and all that. And it'd be funny because like the go-to, like they'd be going into like, my kitchen and grabbing drinks and all that. And I would take the girls into my bedroom, 2, 3, 4 girls. And I used to pop in the Headbangers Ball tape, like, hey, this was
No
me.
way.
Oh yeah, I did.
Back in the day, yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And then like everybody, Muska's like, oh man, he's going to the tape again. Oh,
Yeah.
So then that got really old. So fast forward, I was really good friends at one point in time with Vin Diesel.
Oh wow.
What?
The Diesel.
I got pictures of me. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
You and
Yeah.
Vinny. Did you call him Vinny?
Mark Vincent. No,
Okay.
no, yeah, Vin. But he used to be a bouncer at a club I used to work at back in the 90s. And we had some friends. And I reconnected with him when he did Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
And we would talk and all that. And then,
Thought that was Tom Hanks.
well, he was in Saving Private Ryan.
Oh.
He was Vanuki.
No, I never saw that
he was,
movie.
He was,
I should go watch it.
It's great.
You're like, are you fucking kidding me?
I swear to God, I've never seen it.
I've seen it. I just don't remember it too well. But
He's in it. He's
It's a great movie.
Is it Tom Hanks or no?
Tom Hanks, the
Yeah.
lead, but
Okay.
Vin Diesel was in it.
Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny. Big Vin.
Big Vin. Okay.
So
BV.
Is that Mars?
Mars?
The club.
Oh, not Mars. No. The Palladium and the Tunnel.
All right.
And Limelight. He used to be a bouncer. So
I frequented all of those, by the way.
I remember you. You used to have pink hair.
Yeah. Mohawk.
No, I'm talking about the wig you used to wear on
the
Sunday
wig.
nights.
Oh, the wig. Oh, the wig. Yeah. Finish
So
it.
anyway,
fast forward.
Fast forward.
Yeah.
So we're hanging out, and he's out here. I'm out here. We reconnect. Blah blah blah, and he hasn't had a breakout movie yet. It was like he did that movie and I think something else. I don't remember what the other thing was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at his house. I'll never forget this. He bought a brand new house up on Lookout Mountain.
Okay.
And it was pretty small. It was nice. But I'm in there, and I'm acting like Dom. I'm all over the place, and there's girls in the house. I'm like just being like a fucking lunatic maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he's looking, and he's reading a script, and I have it at home. I gotta show it to you. So I have it, and then he's like, later, like an hour into it, everybody leaves. He takes a script and he takes a black Sharpie, and he signs it to me, right?
Okay.
To Dom, blah blah blah, whatever. I forgot what it says. And then he looks at me and goes, I'm going to get you a lot of pussy with this fucking script. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I want to make you famous. I'm like,
Okay.
So this was a script from The Fast and the Furious.
I was just about to say. Yeah.
So his character name was Michael, whatever his last name is.
Okay.
He crosses it out and changes it to Dominic because it reminded him of me.
Oh, wow.
So that's why he's Dominic. And I have that script where it's Michael, and he crossed it out and he wrote Dom.
No
and then
way.
and then I remember going to the premiere, and he would like who's because I went to the premiere and I didn't wear a suit.
Okay.
So I remember going to the premiere, and he's like, "Oh, it's nice that you got dressed up." Everybody's looking at me like
What the fuck's this guy?
Yeah.
It's all skated out.
And then he was telling, "Oh, this is the guy that the character's modeled after," and like him. So it was just really funny that that was like
That's your new VHS tape.
Yeah, and then but then also he put me in XXX.
Oh, really?
I'm in it. I had a speaker part that was cut out, but I'm in it. Wait, you could see me. I'm part of his crew.
Okay.
That comes out of the van, helps rip apart the Corvette. And then later on, I'm in San Francisco. We filmed. I'm in the club scene, and I give him a bad, but it got cut out. But you can still see me in the movie with the vet. I said, "Yeah, I said, got it." He's like, "Put this." He's telling me, "I got it," and I'm taking something apart. But he put me down, and it got cut out. Whatever. So
Okay. Well, we believe you. Yeah. We believe you.
you can see me.
If
If you stop it and you zoom out, there it is, right there.
And you show girls that part right there.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, but no, I did the.
He pulls it up on YouTube now.
Yeah, I do.
He pulled the script out.
No, I pull the script. I used to pull the script out. No, I got a girlfriend now, so it's like.
I love it. I feel like we could stay here all night and listen to your stories, bro. It's great.
I'm sure another one will pop up.
Yeah. Right. But I wanted to ask you about, Skate Shop, Brooklyn Projects brand.
Yes.
Right? Now, you sell to Zumiez, which I find very interesting because
Don't hate Roger. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
A skate shop selling
just
their
surviving.
product to
Love it.
to another skate. A big skate shop, by the way.
So-
big.
This can also go back to James not selling cherry videos to your shop, though.
Right. Here's the way I look at it. There's a lot of skate shops, mom and pop.
Yeah.
Fuck Zumiez, fuck Zumiez, fuck Zumiez, fuck Zumiez. Well, the way I look at it is, I was telling you a story. I think you guys were here. That I was at a party randomly with Warren Buffett.
You guys just kicking it?
I cannot picture him partying.
Yeah, you guys just.
He was at
What club was it? Was it at the tunnel?
No, this is like 3.5. This is like 3.5, 4 years ago.
Okay.
Listen, no, he was there.
I feel like that dude would be in bed at 9.
Yeah.
This was the Sunday afternoon thing. It was like a birthday or so.
Like a brunch.
It was something, but he was there, and I remember, and he was there he was friends. I don't know. He's friends with the family I was there with, and I'm talking to my friend and his dad, and we're talking about telling my friend I was thinking about maybe I want to grow my brand and I want to sell to Zumiez, and but you know, everybody's going to talk shit because, you know, Zumiez, but I don't know.
Warren Buffett's like, just do it.
So Warren Buffett comes over. He just hears the conversation.
He overheard
the conversation, and he was just like, what is this? You know, he's very inquisitive.
Yeah.
And, you know, he wanted to talk, whatever. And we were just talking, and then knows nothing about my brand or Zoom, nothing.
Nothing about skating, even.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Zero. He knows about making billions. You know?
That's with a B.
With a B.
Billions. Yeah.
With a B and an S at the end.
That's right.
Billions.
That's true.
So then we were just talking, and then he painted the picture to me that instead of looking at it as a bad thing, it's like, think of it this way: how many shops do they have? And I said at the time, I think 500. He goes, okay, so if you put your brand in there, and let's just say every kid likes it, that's 500 salesmen. He didn't say customer. 500 salesmen that you have in all these states that would never know about you, that would push your brand, which then will have an effect to that community. And I'm like, and he broke it down a little bit, like not too much, but I was like, holy shit. And then I stepped back and I was like, you know what? You know, in certain cities, you know, being on tour, you know, I remember when I was on tour with, like, you know, Anthrax, Metallica, Slayer, or whatever, and going to certain cities, I would love to go to the skate shops. Me and Scott from Anthrax, we would love to go, like, local cities like Lawrence, Kansas, skate shops. But a lot of times there wasn't skate shops.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was a Zumiez, there was like a Gadzooks or a Journeys. But in certain cities, certain towns, that is the cool shop, the cool kids. And then, you know, when I sold to Zumiez, it actually, it will help my brand, but it also helped, I think, you know, the community in a way, because, you know, like I talked to some of these kids from going to the Zumiez Rocktember thing and 100K.
Oh, yeah.
These kids are not like...
Rocktember is fun.
It's fun as fuck.
Yeah,
it's super fun.
Yeah.
And it's so dope talking to these kids, because these are the cool kids in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Boise, Idaho. You know, people have to take a step back. It's only helping the community, because you know what? One kid from a Zumiez literally just hit me up like 2-3 months ago. I'm not wholesaling my brand to any skate shops now, and I'll tell you why. I'll circle back, but he's like, yo, I learned a lot and everything, and now I have the only skate shop in town, like an actual mom and pop, that he opened up with his friends because of, you know, learning about the brands and making connections and learning about the business. He used Zumiez as like a college,
Right.
and now it's like, I have the core stuff, and people can go and get the other stuff.
Oh,
yeah. So they're not doing a disservice. It's like, they've grown my brand. I sold to skate shops.
Right.
And you know what? 2 things happened. Some of my friends that owned the skate shops, they were like, I love you, Dom, but why would I carry another skate shop's brand in my skate shop?
Right.
Well, you carry Primitive? Yeah. Well, that's a skate shop and a skater that owns it. You carry Diamond? Well, Huff? Those are skate shops and their brands. So I had that, fine. The other thing was, they would order $200, $150, $300. Okay, how am I going to make money on that?
Right.
I mean, I sell my own store, granted, but Zumiez, any brand that they take, you know,
They're ordering double or triple that.
It's like 30,
quadruple.
Yeah,
Quadruple.
30K is like a minimum for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then just recently, I met the owner of Zumiez, Tom Campion.
Great dude.
I never met the guy. I didn't know, like, joking around, I was like, who's this old dude? Like, he just comes up to me, we're talking this and that. Best fucking dude ever. We're just talking politics and this, streetwear, skateboarding, the Brooklyn Project. You're not from Brooklyn, you're from, like, but it's just so, I was like, who is this guy? He's great. He's like a Larry Sanders guy,
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
Like, you know, Larry David, excuse me. And I'm like, what
Larry Sanders is great too.
Yes, he is, but it was more like a Larry David thing. And then,
Sanders.
and I'm like, oh, that's the owner of Zumiez. I'm like, what? You, so unassuming, but what he did for all his work, he really gives a fuck. And the kids that work there, they give a fuck. And you know what? I think it only helps a skate shop, because at the end of the day, I think a store like Vans having skateboards and all that, what's the difference between Vans and and a Zumiez. It's
absolutely true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But nobody says anything about Vans because they're a skate shoe brand, which, by the way, Vans doesn't sell me, hasn't sold me for 15 years. That's another conversation. But sorry.
Do you want them to sell to you?
But who in your neighborhood sells Vans?
Let me tell you the story about Vans.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I'll tell you the story about Vans, and I really don't care, but it's very, very funny. When Vans had that big, you remember this, when Vans had that big like uprising, like it started popping 2003 to 2004. Remember, they were like the syndicate. It was like Vans, like it was cool. They did all the collabs. It was like the shit. It was the Nike SB. It was a halo effect. Yeah. Okay. I started carrying it. But back then, you had to, like, if you wanted to skate high, you had to buy 3 other styles.
Okay.
An AVE, a Dustin
rules.
Dolan,
Yeah.
a TNT to get one of those. Okay. I did it.
Yeah.
For about a year. And after a year, I'm looking at my back room. Swear to God, there was 190 something pairs of Vans that didn't sell, and it was all these other shoes.
Sure.
So I started saying, "Hey, listen, I can't. Can I get some returns?"
Yeah.
Sure. I'll pull up the email to show you guys. I'm not kidding. I swear, on my mother.
You have the email from 2000 and
while we're talking, I'm looking. But here's the thing.
No, go ahead. So, please, no, go ahead.
So eventually, I start getting returns. No problem. Yeah. You send some shoes back. You get a credit. I order X amount of dollars. The credit gets applied. No problem. I did it about 3 or 4 times. I think the 4th or 5th time, I get an email.
Dude, that's way too much.
So I get an email saying, "Hey, Dom, you be on the lookout for a check for $2,200. I was like, "All right." And due to the constant return, this, that, the returns of the product and product placement in your store and this and that, we are no longer able to sell you. I have the email. I swear to God. And I'm just like, wait a minute. You don't want to sell me because I don't want to be a stockroom for your shit? Okay. So I was like, I was bummed. I was like, but fuck it. You know what I mean? All right, whatever. So fast forward, I opened up my new location and I hit up the rep and I was like, "Yo, what's up? Like this, that, and other thing. I'm back, blah, blah." "Oh yeah, I'll call you." "Yeah, yeah, sure." 3, 4, 5 months. Nothing. So then I got really pissed. I put the email on Twitter at the time.
Oh, shit.
And say, because people would come in and ask me, "Why don't you sell Vans? You have a ramp like Hassoy, why don't you carry Vans? Steve Olson, this one, that pro, that."
Sure.
This is the reason why. Because this dude doesn't want to sell me because I didn't want to fucking be a stockroom. So then years after that, I saw this dude at a trade show and I said, "Hey man, what's up?" And he kind of gave me a cold shoulder like, if this was the Dom 20 years ago, I would have knocked his teeth out. But I was like, "Oh, all right, whatever." And just recently, I was up at the 100K. And we were talking, and Steve Van Doren was there, and we're talking, and then, Soy and this one, we're talking, and I was like, yeah, it's like, I don't want to bring it up to him, but I told Soy, it's like, it's kind of whack that, at one point, I was like, Steve Van Doren knows me from at the time when I was 12 or 13, I was like the only, like I remember him saying this, I was the only sponsored kid in Brooklyn, like BMX. Like I was actually sponsored by bands in 1982.
Okay. And
it's so funny that I have a skate shop, a ramp, I've been there, and somebody, nobody, and this is the problem with skateboarding, nobody of any sort of like, knows history. Yeah. And there's people there, who I'm talking, there's a couple people there that know the history, they've been around. They wouldn't think like, hey, every shoe brand's in there, every brand. Why are we in Brooklyn Projects? There's nobody else. There's nobody else there. And that's the problem with skateboarding. You got like idiots that are not doing anything. They're taking their job, they're getting their check, and they're not doing anything. They're not questioning anything what's going on. Like, why aren't we selling to Brooklyn Projects? Is there a reason? Did they owe us money? No. Did they stiff us for money? No. Did they backdoor stuff? No. Do they have no accounts? No. Well, what's the reason? Tell me if there's a legitimate reason. Oh, there's 60 shops. No, there's nobody around me. Supreme. What do they carry? 4 styles? Okay, who? There's no other skate shop.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it's pretty pathetic, and that's the problem. People in positions that don't see that, questioning it just to do their job. That's like, they shouldn't have. They're the fucking cancer in the industry.
And that's the thing, is there's a backstory to it. There's a story to tell.
Yes,
which people love.
Right.
People love that.
Right. It's I had the email said, and I remember because Dustin Dolan, why don't you carry the shoes? Why don't you carry my shoe? I'm like, yo, dude, here's the email. He's like, well, that's fucked up. I was like, yeah. And then I'll make some calls. But then like a week later, he's like, hey, you putting that Twitter thing out there is not that really good. And I'm like, hey, dude, this has been like, listen, if somebody doesn't call me back, and look, again, I'm big on respect. Yeah. If I email you once, twice, and you just brush me off.
You're also trying to like reply to your customers coming in there being like, why don't you sell to them?
Right, and I'm tired
you're trying to like tell this.
Right, I said, this is why I don't sell Vans. Here, this is the reason.
Yeah.
Here's your check. Here's your product. Here's your money. We don't want to sell too more because you're not. We're basically taking back too much stuff. Okay. And now
your shoes aren't selling.
At the time, right?
Yeah, at the time.
Now their whole program is different. It's changed.
Yeah.
And I still like get it from Olsen and Soy. Like, dude, you want me to talk to? I was like, no, I don't want you to talk to. The thing is, I don't want to put Steve Van Doren in a place because then it creates another shitstorm. The guys, and what, he's gonna go and like open up. No, dude, the people in position. I'm sorry, but if I opened up a skate shop in fucking whatever, like let's say New York, okay? If I opened up if I had a company and I want to sell to New York, who's the fucking hot skate shop in New York? Well, labor.
Yeah.
Why? I would question, why are we in there? Yeah. Oh, they don't want it. Okay, or I don't know, we never went there. It's not like I don't want it. Like yeah, give me Vans. I have other fucking shoe brand in there and it sells. So, I mean, yeah. So what is it? And the people that are in positions that, like, does it even occur to you? You even scratch your head like, why aren't we in there? Oh, Dom doesn't want us. Oh, okay, fuck him. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's what's killing skateboarding. That's one of the things. Another thing is there's a few brands that, oh, we can't sell to you.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, you're too close to Supreme. I'm like,
this has been going on for years.
Right, and you go in there though.
It's just basically trying to protect the people that are already selling the shit.
Right, but then you go in there, and there's one T-shirt.
Yeah.
And then you go back 3 minutes later, there's no T-shirts. Some of those brands eventually sell to me, and it's like, one of these brands was it's a funny story. It was repped by a pro skater who was a friend of ours. Mm-hmm. He came in. He's like, how come you don't sell our brand in here? I'm like, I try, but they were like Supreme. He's like, dude, you're totally a different customer. And like, they ordered 2 boards and I'm going to give it to you. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
And I did, and he did. And later on, they stopped carrying, because Supreme just carries a lot of their old boards and crooked, and that's it. They have like 10 boards on the wall. That's it. And he was telling me, he's like, dude, he's like, the company, it's like, they're tripping. Like, you order like, I swear to God, he goes, you've ordered more in 1 month than Supreme's ordered in a whole year almost. Because it sells. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to order 1 board. I'm going to order 10 boards. I'm going to order T-shirts. I'm going to order because I sell it.
Yeah.
People come. And then they kind of felt like stupid because then I met the dudes that own it. And these are the dudes that didn't want to answer my email, but then they were like, oh shit. And it's like, sometimes it's like I find it really weird and strange and funny when there's certain skate brands that sell to like, they won't sell to me, but they'll sell to Dover Street Market. Is that a skate shop?
They're only selling like fucking like 6 pieces.
6 pieces.
Yeah.
Like cool. And then 2 months later, they don't carry you at all. Then what?
Yeah.
You think, I mean, think about it. When we were growing up,
guaranteed Dover doesn't give a fuck if you're carrying it or not.
No, they don't, I don't even exist. They don't care. I mean, they literally don't. They don't care, and it's like.
Can I ask you a quick question? You're carrying Diamond, you're carrying Huff, and whatever. how did you feel when they opened up flagship stores like only a block away?
This is how I feel, and I just said this actually funny. I said this, and I caught a lot of heat, but good heat. I was in Complex. Thanks to Complex, they did the top 10 pioneering stores of streetwear.
Oh, wow.
Of all time. I was like number 7 or 8.
Wow.
I'm up there with Union. I'm up there with all these other concepts. And I'm like, cool. And I said this, and it's the truth. If it wasn't for me, and you guys have been around a long time, and you guys be on the West Coast, you know this.
Sure.
You know this too, because you've been around. You know, if it wasn't for Brooklyn House, Brooklyn Projects, there'd be no Fairfax. Because James is very smart. James looks and sees, okay, why didn't Supreme open up before me or right after me? I helped these brands, and the hundreds, you know, they say this all the time, like, you know, and Diamond said this, like, I gave a store for them to put their stuff in Hollywood. There was no other stores. I created a movement there. That was it. The ramp, everything was there. And that allowed people to open up on Fairfax. And that's what it kind of like, it bummed me out at first because some brands were like, oh, we can't sell to you no more. Really? After carrying you for fucking 5 years, you can't sell to me no more?
Because
That's like
the flagship
because
store?
opening a flagship store.
Yeah.
Certain brands were like, hey, you know what? We're going to work with you. We're going to give you A and B. We're going to take C, D, F, G.
Okay.
Cool.
You would figure that, like, all right, we're gonna open a flagship store close to you, but you would get the stuff 2 weeks in advance before they sold it in the store or something like that.
Yeah, I wished it was like that. The only thing they ever did was like certain, like Diamond at one point did like, hey, pick the designs you want. You're going to get your own colorways. Pick the cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's great. Hundreds. Hey, we're going to give you these pieces. We're not going to carry them. Like these are a top 10 styles. Pick 2 styles, which people come to the store you happen to go to Brooklyn Projects.
Sure.
You know, and it worked. But then it just like it had to reinvent myself. What do I do? Then there's the second wave of streetwear, and it was like the brands like, you know, like the Futura had a brand, FIL through Maharishi, and then there was like the Green Apple Trees, and then there were certain like the second waves, the Red Clay and the 10 Deeps. That's what started to kind of like keep me afloat.
Take over.
It wasn't LRG, like you guys were with LRG a lot, right?
Yeah, we were LRG towards the second wave. The first wave, they got too big and they didn't want to sell to anybody. They were so big. And they did a lot for skateboarding too.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
the LRG did a huge amount of skateboarding, and you know, but it was a really, it was a bitter pill to swallow, and you know, there were some friends that, you know, to be very, you know, upfront and honest, there were some friends that I was really like, you know, I was kind of like, you really start seeing the people for who they are.
True colors almost.
True colors. Yeah. And, you know, I don't mind, you know, like mentioning names. And do you mind I mention some names? I don't want to get you guys, I'm not talking shit. I'm being very, very upfront now. I mean, but
This is your story.
okay. This is my story. Okay. But it's not a bad thing. It's just like, it's almost like clearing the air. You know what I mean? You know, it really hurt me. Like it bothered me. Like, I know everybody loves him. I love him too. I think he's great, but I'll give you a perfect example. One of the kids who I love, I think he's one of the best skaters, hands down, in the world, period, is Elijah Burrell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Elijah was like my kid. I was taking him into clubs at 13. He wrote for Brooklyn Projects. I have magazine things with sponsor Brooklyn. I love him.
Yeah.
And, you know, he got on FA and all that. I love him. But, you know, when I see him, he's still the same, Elijah. What's up? Oh, we hug, fucking talk at shows. Like, you know, answers his phone. I love him. Best dude. But then you have a kid like, you know, Nakel, who used to hang out at Brooklyn Projects. I given him so much, babysat him because I know his father, he's Kareem's cousin. And then it was, you know, for a reason, when the shop closed down, he hung out Supreme, he got sponsored, whatever. But I was giving him fucking Thunders, Lakai, getting him all kinds of shit, taking care of him. And then like he did this article and I didn't even know about it. It was brought to me by somebody, I remember who, but he did this article in Hypebeast, how'd you get into skating? And he says like, oh, I was hanging out in Hollywood. I used to skate for this shop on Hollywood Boulevard, and it closed down, and I started getting down with Supreme and so on and so forth. I'm like, man, are you that like, you're not Kel Smith. You can't say, yeah, I was fucking, I was rocking with Brooklyn Projects. They closed down. I started hanging out in Fairfax, got on Supreme, and my life's changed forever. Cool. And it's like, wow.
That hurt you.
It hurt me because like,
hurt you.
I never did anything wrong to you.
Right.
And then it all goes back to it's like now my infamous moment with Jason Dill, having an issue with Jason Dill by not selling me FA at the time. I think Jason Dill is one of the most talented, illest, my top 10 favorite skaters of all time, period.
Hell yeah.
Period. The guy's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
Is he quirky? Yes. But I love him.
Yeah.
And, first of all, if I hated to do it, I have his board hanging up on my fucking store. And it says, just like every other board, next to Costin's board, next to Keenan's board, next to Popecki, Reams, Muska's, everybody's board. To Dom and Brooklyn House, thanks for being here for me 365 days a year, blah, blah, blah. Because I used to fucking give him whatever he wanted, and we were friends.
Yeah.
We were friends. I have videos of him at the shop hanging out. Like, we were fucking homies. And then he was hanging out at the new Brooklyn Projects, watching videos coming in, whatever. And then one day I just asked him, I said, hey man, can I get some FA fucking awesome in the store? And he looked at me and goes, are you fucking crazy? Like, you know the rules. I'm all preemed out. I can't fucking sell you. How can you even ask me that? And I felt like, wow. Like I felt like a dick. Like, really, dude? Me? And I felt like I was like torn between like I wanted to crawl up and cry, or I wanted to fucking punch him in his face. So I said, man, fuck you. Fuck you. Don't ever walk around here. Go fuck yourself. That's a dick. You know what? You could have said, you know what? There's been brands that said, you know what, Dom? I can't sell you. I can't. But if you want stuff for yourself, I'll give you whatever you want. You know what I mean? But I remember when he started fucking awesome with Mike Piscatelli and Rick Rodney, and I was there when he went to Fresh Drive, and Fresh Drive is back. I was there throughout the whole thing. I have old FA pieces. I still wear it. I love it. So that kind of like fucked me up because, on one hand, that hurt me. But then it's like, I don't know if it's like that. I don't know. It really bothered me because this is a guy I thought was like my friend. And then I have a guy like Zach from FTP, this brand FTP, which is like the hottest brand next to Supreme, who don't fuck with nobody. He's coming to me. He's like, yo, Dom, let's do a collab. Let's put Brooklyn Products on the map. Let people know what's going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have a guy like him doing it, and I'm like, wow, look at that.
Right.
This is a kid that remembers coming to my store. He has the hottest brand. He doesn't need shit from me. Zero. This guy, he did a DC shoe, and there's a line of 800 people waiting to buy a DC shoe at one point. This guy's like, he's like the new face of streetwear, skate culture, whatever you want to call it. But he is the dude. He don't fuck with nobody. He's very selective. And he's coming to me saying, yo, man, you deserve more than what you have. I want to help. I want to, whatever I could do to help you. Let's do this. And people are like, what? FTP's collabing with you? Get the fuck out of here. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, they don't believe it. And it's like, here's a guy I did nothing for except be there. As a just like be in the shop, just
selling products,
right?
Yeah.
Not even selling his product. I don't even sell his product.
Yeah, but he was a customer.
He's a customer. He's a kid. And here are people I looked after and cared about and did everything for, and never told them no. And you act like I don't exist, like I'm like I did something wrong. Like if I do something wrong, and I've done a lot of wrong things in my life, I'm expected to, like, if I saw Virgil Abloh, I'm not going to be like, hey, man, what's up? I'm like, yeah, I know, I really don't like you. And if you don't like me, I know the vibe. I'm not going to be like, oh, Virgil, didn't let me in the show. I'm not going to be like, wow. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I understand 100%, Or if, a certain skate shoe company, or I get it. But when certain things happen that I don't understand because I was always there for somebody, it's just mind-blowing. I just don't get it. And that's why it's like, oh, I'm bitter. There's a story why I'm bitter. It's not like, it's like
you feel fucked.
Yeah, I do feel fucked.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the reason I feel fucked is because I've given 25 plus years of my life to this. You think, and you could work at McDonald's for 25 years and own a house and have a retirement. I don't. You can do a lot of things for 25 fucking years and have something.
Yeah.
I spent the better part of 22 of the 25 years helping other people, because the way I grew up is like working with bands, you know, like I worked with, you know, Anthrax, and then, you know, Testament was on the road, and they needed a bass tech, and like, you know, I'll help you guys out. And like, oh shit, you know, just on the love. And then guess what? They did it to, hey Dom, you want to come? Like, yeah, sure.
Right.
Help each other out. You know, music industry, you know, like, oh, I signed this band. This manager has another band. I'll check it out. I signed them. Then later on, he's like, hey, dude, you know, I got a record label. You know, it's like one hand wash the other. It's like,
sure.
You help each other out. We're friends.
Right.
I come to skateboarding in the beginning, but it was like that. In the beginning, early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, it was like that. But then seeing all this new shit, and it was like, it's just so fucked up. And if I didn't have, like, if I was like a scumbag, you know, I wouldn't be on the show, first of all, because you wouldn't want to touch me with a 10-foot pole. You know, number two, yeah, people like Muska, still my best friend.
Right.
I have some of the illest riders riding for me. I have like Kareem and Costin, and, you know, Steve, you know, certain people that are like legends that consider me family. Mm-hmm. If I was a bad guy, or if I was like such a stain, Jim Thiebaud ain't gonna be looking out for me and like, let's do something. You know, all these people wouldn't fucking fuck with me.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I see other people I've helped who are in a position to like, let me throw them a little bone. Mm. And they don't. And these people I helped, and you have people that I didn't help going, man, why aren't you like, dude, we need to help that.
Right.
Let's try to help you do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, it's like, it's fucking, it's disheartening. It's like, what, damn, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like,
that kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier about like helping Roger become president.
Right.
And him throwing the
crumbs.
crumbs.
The crumbs.
Right.
It's like you're waiting for the crumbs. You know, listen, you help him become something, then everybody's waiting for the crumbs, but the crumbs don't come. And for him, it's just crumbs. But to me, it's like a whole meal.
Right.
But he won't even take the like, the way I was kind of brought up is,
On the breadcrumb trail, I can throw crumbs everywhere.
the way I do it is, if I'm thirsty and I have like this can of soda, mm-hmm. I'm the type of person is, okay, if I'm thirsty, but I know you're more thirsty than me,
right.
I'm going to give you the soda with the anticipation, with the thought of like, you're going to drink half it and give me the other half.
Give you that, right.
But most people, let's take it, thanks a lot, die of thirst. You know, that's how a lot of people are. That's how I feel. And it's like, and now, you know, coming out with some press on like a complex, and like I said, and all these like little blogs, I'm doing this. Now I don't have anything they can take from me. So if I talk shit or speak the truth and let people know, what are you going to do? Not sell me? You don't sell me. What are you going to do? Talk shit about me? You know what you do? You're going to come see me at my store, or you're going to come face, by all means, let's go. You can't do anything to me that you already haven't. So what do I have to lose? So now I'm just like, this is my 25-year anniversary this year.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going out there and I'm doing collabs with a bunch of different people and so on, and brands and so on and so forth. And I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to just tell the story that needs to be told of this is what I've done. I have proof I've done this, mm-hmm. and I'm here to get recognized for it.
If you had the money to like reinvent Brooklyn projects, like, what would you do with your retail space to make it different?
If I had the money to redo everything?
Just like, start from scratch. Or like,
okay.
Like, what do you think like the retail space needs to be now?
If I had the money, what I was trying to do is I wanted to create a place. I don't have kids. I don't have brothers or sisters. I'm just by myself. I do want to, like, it's funny. I did a will. I turned 50. Yeah, I did a will. I did a will, and I left my BMX collection, to have an extensive BMX collection, just one kid. But with the name of the store, I haven't finished yet, but I'm going to give it to a couple of my closest employees and my friends, because when I die, I want them to continue it.
Carry it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry it on.
Sure.
But if I do it right, I would love to do like a space where I always had this dream about doing an indoor skate park, venue, skate shop, all in one, everything in one. Yeah. And make it multifaceted. Like, you know, like you come in the front, it's the coolest skate shop. Then you go in the back, there's the fucking skate park. And then inside the skate park, there's a cafe, a coffee shop. Then at night, we do events, we do concerts. It's a multimedia place.
Yeah.
You know,
on the fucking carousel.
Like, yeah. Exactly. And, you know, my idea now is like I said, you know, I through people like Zumiez and myself, like, you know, my brand is growing. For the, you know, the 2-3 designs I carry, kids see it and they go, oh shit, and they come to online, and I'm selling shirts in places that I would never ever sell shirts.
Sure.
Ever.
Right.
You know, like from like the Fargo, North Dakota and Coeur d'Alene, you know, all these places, like, it's like I would never get there.
Sure.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to, you know, I want to open up more stores, and I want to do it right. I want to be there. I want to be a cultural center. I want to be a mom and pop, but I want to be there for the kids. Like I said, giving out $30,000 a year worth of product out of my pocket. Even like some pros were telling me, like, dude, why don't you make shop boards and then just don't sell them, just give them to the shop riders. I'm like, that's a good idea, because now instead of costing $35 every time I give a board, it's going to cost me $15. But then it's like, well, different shapes.
Is it advertising?
It's advertising, but it's like, I don't want to take away choices from a kid. Mm-hmm. You want a real board? Take a real board. You want a Death Wish board? Take a Death Wish board. You know what? You want Nikes? Take
stickers.
Nikes.
It's way cheaper.
Well, yeah, I give them stickers, but make sure you rock stickers on your board. Of course, that's the easiest way. But I want kids to skate. I've never told any kid no.
Right.
You know, and after a while, after a couple of months, I do kick off people, because there were some kids that just give me a video, give me a clip once a month, something, and they just take something, and they don't do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what? Next, I can't.
Well, dude, it's crazy. Have you guys gotten broke into before? Like, people steal shit, right?
Like 3 times.
That's horrible.
We got the worst time was 2008, the old location. They did a real fucked up. This was like the worst by far. They clipped the power.
Oh God.
Jeez.
Legit. They clipped the power to the building. The whole like 3 stores.
Jeez.
They clipped the power, and then they put a chain or something, and we had a big metal door in the back. They ripped the door off the hinges, and then they literally, because the power was off, so the alarm wasn't going on. They had like a power outage at the alarm company. They called me saying, "Hey, there's a power outage," and I'm like, "That's weird." And I call up my neighbor who has a story. He's like, "Yeah, we don't have no power either." I'm like, "Oh, I thought maybe."
It was like a community. Everyone's power's
so
out.
I'm not gonna.
You're not tripping.
Someone break in.
Right. I go to the store in the morning. I shit you not. I had nothing. I had nothing left. I had I had meat. I had nothing. I had probably like $1,000 worth of merchandise. They took about 60 grand. They left me with. They took my computer. I mean, they left me with like hangers and shit on the floor. Like, they took everything from me, and then I was out of business for 6-7 weeks because.
How do you come back from that?
Yeah.
How did I come back from that? After 2 months of insurance investigations, sending people, like 2 different investigators, take a lie detector test.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We got to check. It wasn't a lot.
You had like insurance on it all.
Yeah, no. So my fault. I never kept, a lot of invoices. Once I put the price, I might throw it out,
I see.
Well, show us proof they took they took $100,000 worth of shit. Show us proof.
Right.
All I can get was $50-something thousand worth of proof. So all I got was $50-something thousand. So I got it. Then we opened up, and literally that same year, our lease was up. And then the landlord's like, hey, I said, where's the lease? Where's the lease? Where's the lease? At the time, we were paying like $4,300, $4,400 a month rent, which was a lot back in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't terrible though.
Ain't terrible. No, it wasn't. No, it's not. But it was. I was happy. $4,500, $5,000. I'll take it all day.
Yeah.
And then he comes to us, and this is why we closed down on the original location. He comes to us and he says, okay, well, you want another lease? I'm like, yeah. He goes, we'll give you a 5-year lease. I'm like, okay. but your rent's going to be $10,000. I'm like, 10,000.
Fuck.
This is a recession.
Yeah.
I can't afford 10,000. How are you going to charge me 10,000? Well, 9,500. I'm like, how? And this is what he tells me with a straight face. He's like, well, we always see people here. You're making money. You pay your rent on time. So that must mean you make money. So we should make more money. It's like, just because I pay my rent on time and I have kids here doesn't mean they're all buying and I don't have
double it. Yeah. What the hell? That's insane.
And like, well, then they thought they had me like I wasn't going to leave. So I'm just like,
later.
well, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And I left.
Well, they left you no choice.
That left me a choice. And then I had to find another spot and I couldn't find a spot. And then I had to Pasadena store. And that was like that was just a nightmare because the recession, I had to close that down. Like I said earlier, it's like I became homeless and I opened up the new location in 2010.
It's so crazy. I feel it's frustrating. I mean, owning a skate shop and doing it and trying to keep it in business, it seems so frustrating.
People don't believe me.
But it's like the passion, though.
It's passion.
But it's frustrating.
People do not believe me, and this is the guys, and I feel like a sucker telling my business. I make my money doing consulting work for this brand, consulting work for this brand. If the shop pays my car payment, pays my cell phone bill, and gives me about $2,000 a month. That's it.
Okay.
And it's my consulting gigs from various tech. That's how I make my living.
That's how you survive.
I can't, if I want to take a salary from the store, well, I would have to hire, I would have to get rid of 2-3 employees.
Wow.
And then I can take the money. But I have 5 employees. I pay them very well. I pay them commission, and I'm happy helping them. I'm happy. I've never ever, I'm a small one-man shop, and I've never ever, like, if it's slow, I don't send somebody home. I just still pay them the full thing because I know what it's like when I had a job, and I hear this horror stories. Like, there's certain people that come for work. They're like, yeah, my job come hours. I'm working 6 hours a week. How can the fuck can you live on 6 hours a week?
You can't.
You can't.
No.
And there's not where you can have. I mean, there's certain people. I go to certain I go to this one spot to get tea, drinks, and some of the workers there, they have like 4 or 5 jobs. I'm like, that's insane. Like, I couldn't 4 or 5 jobs. Well, yeah, I work 3 days here, and I work 2 days here, and I work 3 nights here, and then on Sunday I do that. It's like, whoa, that's
2 tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LA's tough.
Kelly has 5 jobs.
I know.
I'm fine though.
Let me ask you this though: if say you didn't have any consulting, nothing. Say you opened a shop. I mean, how does a shop survive?
It's
without any. If that's their only means of survival.
Well, I thought about it.
Right.
It's.
How do you do it?
You first open up in a community that needs you.
True.
Okay?
True.
Where there's cheap rent and there's a lot of kids. Okay, number one. Number 2, again, I can't knock it. You sell the way I say it is, for every shop board you sell, you should be selling 5 pro boards.
Yeah.
Keep the industry alive.
Yep.
And then do your own brand, your own grip tape, your own t-shirts, because now you're making a higher profit margin, and that's how you stay in business and low overhead. You know what I mean? It's like, unfortunately, it's really hard with the internet. But again, do
you wish you ever entered that whole e-commerce?
It's another funny story. This is true. A good friend of mine named Michael Marchetti, he was like the CFO of EA Sports years ago.
Oh, wow.
My childhood friend. In 96, 97, he came in and he was doing this thing with me. He brought in this other dude, and they had a company called Net Zero.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Right. It was this new thing, the internet. And at that time, it was like talking about flying spaceships. You wouldn't think, you're talking about flying cars. You can't comprehend it. But they were coming to me with orders every month. Say, we're building this store for you on the World Wide Web. I'm like, I don't get it. It's just like a store. It's in like this like spot on the computer. I'm like, okay. But they were like testing this.
You need to fulfill these orders.
Right. So they would come and they would give me a list, and they would put, I don't know how they did. They just put like images from, at the time, I gave them a Dwindle catalog, and they would just buy all the Dwindle stuff. And every month they would come with $1,500, $1,800, $2,500 worth of orders of skate shit, Dark Star, Menace.
Sure.
and I would get it and I'd give it to them. They would pay me.
You fulfill it.
No, I would give it to them.
Yeah.
And they would send it out.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
I would just buy it for them and I'd make my money.
Yeah.
After about 4 months, it was a test thing. It was a beta test for an online store. They're like, hey, we're going to be pulling this, but if you want this, we can give you everything. You can start doing it, and this is going to be the wave of the future. And I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Yeah, I don't get.
It's another thing for me to fucking do.
No, and then what? Order from like a chat room? Like I don't get it. Like I didn't understand it. So I said no. So going back to that, like I don't wish I entered the e-commerce business. I do wish that 10 years ago when I was helping all these brands do things marketing wise, pushing them on celebrity friends of mine, like the Diamonds, the Hundreds, if I would have done a Brooklyn Products brand back then. Because every brand, literally 9 out of 10 brands I've helped, they're all like millionaires and have houses because it was a timing. And I didn't. You
didn't jump on it.
I didn't jump on it. Right. I'm like,
timing's everything.
Timing's everything.
Yeah.
I started late with my brand.
Right.
I started it 3.5 years ago. I mean, I made a t-shirt here, but doing my brand, started doing it 3 years ago, but it's grown in this climate. It's grown. I think it's growing because I'm not talking shit, but I think that a lot of the brands that were popular in the mid 2000s, those became like heritage brands. Those are your dad's brands because when you think about it, the kid that wore Diamond when he was 21, like say, or 19, now he's 38, 39. So now he has a kid that's 15, 14, 12, 13. That's like our fathers wearing like Billabong or, you know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? I don't want to wear what my dad wears.
O'Neal.
O'Neal, you know what I mean? So it's like they became the heritage brands. So now it's a better place for me because when you go into like a Zumiez, for instance, it's not like I'm up against 20 hot brands. I'm in my own place and it's new and it's fresh because the designs I kind of create are designs of like, they're in the same vein of like brands that don't want to sell to Zumiez and want to sell only online and they have their own thing. So I'm kind of like in that little halo effect. Like those are the cool brands. They'll never sell to shops or whatever, but I do designs that kind of like, which is basically like 90s stuff redone. That's my ethos. Okay. So I'll do it. It's just like, I caught a lot of heat by doing I did a collab with the Hundreds just recently. And I took inspiration, let's call it, from a brand that was my favorite brand that doesn't get a lot of credit called Pervert from the 90s.
Okay.
And Pervert was a brand that the designer, like, he also helped. He came from like Fat Farm, and you know, and like it's
from like Miami originally.
Yeah. Well, he's from New York, and then he moved to Miami, opened up Animal Farm, and then he joined a cult, and he threw away Pervert. But Pervert was like the.
It was like the outline of a dude or something, wasn't it? Like
no,
the logo.
The logo. Well, the first logo was the Keebler elf tree, and it said Pervert, and. But the guy was Supreme before Supreme. Pervert was Supreme.
Some cookies.
Pervert was Supreme before Supreme was, and so I copied a lot of their stuff, and because the designs are so dope, and I said this is taking inspiration from Pervert, and you know the shit sold, and it was sold because it looked so different, but it was 90s stuff. It was stuff that was all around. So I think that's why my brand does well. It's because I take my 90s ethos and I'm putting it, whereas the other brands, they're still stuck in like the 2000s and they're still trying to chase their old consumer. And you have to think, you always have to think 10, like you said, 10 steps ahead. Like you got to think about, okay, if I'm going to like start, you know, trying to cater to people in their 30s, okay, what's the next step? Because they're good for like 3 or 4 years. Yeah. I got to start changing designs where, and not to bring up the Hundreds because they're not a skate brand, but they do have some sort of roots in skate. They did a good job of reinventing themselves where they appeal a little bit to the 30-something-year-olds, but they do some designs that appeals to the 20-something-year-olds. So it's a fine line. And, you know, there's a lot of skate brands that do it, like Butter Goods.
Okay, yeah.
They do it. All Timers does a really good job, I think.
Yeah.
Quiet Life does an amazing job.
Life.
Huff,
Yeah.
Still killing it.
Have you seen our designs?
Your designs are the best.
Thank you, bro.
Like you probably
We're
like
catering to those.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, who are we?
kids.
Yeah, okay, all right.
We're catering to everybody.
Dude, you know what I love when I go in your shop? The boards you have on the wall are like the actual like older boards you have assigned.
Yeah.
Are amazing.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, it's funny. We had an argument with some guy, not me, the kids in the shop. It was crazy. I have like 3 Musca boards. Yeah. Musca, 3 generations of Musca boards, you know? And the guy was coming there saying, "That's not Musca's signature. You guys fucking did that." And like he was serious. That's not Musca's signature. I know. I'm like, and I'm hearing it. And I'm like, do I even like bother? I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna say anything. But like this guy was convinced that I just signed these boards and put them up there.
Do you FaceTime Musca right there? Like,
no, but I told Chad, and Chad was like, "What the? Where do you get these people?" Like I'm like, I don't know.
They walk in, yeah.
Dude, just recently,
Brick
on my, you look at my Instagram, there was like this chick that came into my store before I started filming with a megaphone talking about free my koi. She was from PETA. Free my koi fish. My koi fish are fucking illegal. You're fucking abusing these animals. I'm like, and I started taping her. I'm like, these are koi fish. They eat better than me. I spent $500. Everybody knows I love my koi fish. I fucking love my
Where
koi
are your koi fish?
Oh, you
in
got
the front of the store.
Yeah,
in the front.
I have a big koi pond, and I gave 2 to Sean
Wait a
White.
minute. They're outside the store?
No, inside.
Inside, in the
yeah,
front. Okay.
They get like the temperature, the water's controlled.
How many you got?
Right now we have 8. We had
How big?
12. Well, this is what happens. When you take one out, the other
grow.
2 or 3 grow.
Okay.
And every time one grows really big, like I said, I had 2 big ones. I gave it to Sean White. He put it in his pond.
Oh, wow.
And then I had another one that grew. I gave it to my friend. He has a pond up in Calabasas. So now 2 other ones grew. And it's like there's like 7 in there now, but they're happy. They eat. They're fucking. I love them. And this girl's like arguing with me, saying it's illegal. It's not illegal. I grew them from 5 inches, and I grew them these big motherfuckers. I love them.
Right.
But this like, who the fuck? This people just come in and like.
But is she going to every house that has goldfish?
That's what I said. You know what? I said, do you go to other? She goes, no, this is the only shop. I've been watching this shop for a month.
Oh.
I got video. I'm like, so you have video of me having the fish guy come and do all the tests of water. And like, I pay $500 a month, $550 a month to get the water tested, to get the filters cleaned, my special fish food is $130 for a jar. It's like
organic.
It's like peas and dude.
Vegan? Are they vegan?
I think they are vegan. I think they're vegan.
Why fish? That's the weirdest thing to me, bro. Because you can't pet them, you can't hold them.
You could pet our fish.
Yeah, but you know
Feng
what I
shui,
mean, though. It's
They're
not
fucking,
like a
no.
You know,
It's
Feng shui.
like a feng shui thing. Yeah, it was like cool because you know what it does. It's crazy, but like there's certain neighbors that come in that the kids are like now they're like 7, 8, but they've been coming there since they're 5 or 6, and now they're 7, 8, 9, 10, and they've grown with the fish.
Friends.
They're friends. They come there and have their favorite ones, and they feed them. I let them feed them sometimes, and it's a cool thing. It's very relaxing here in the water, and then you know if you're having a bad day, you sit there, you look at them, you're like, oh shit, this is very relaxing.
I've never been a fish guy. You know, I'm not a fish guy.
I'm a cat guy. I mean, you like pussy.
Yeah, cats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
what's your cat's name?
Susu.
Susu.
Yeah.
Larry.
I know. Larry's the best. I you know what? I used to do the charity work at I was a volunteer at PetSmart at the where they keep the adoptable cats.
Okay.
I was doing that for a couple of months, and then like it was weird. Then like the company switched over to another company. I'm like, okay, I filled out, and they found it really weird that like I don't understand, like you own a skate shop, you're a straight male, you have a girlfriend, and you want to come here to take care of the cats for free for 2 days a week. I'm like, yeah.
Is your name Jeff Gallo?
Yeah, Jeff. Jeff loves cats.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
How
like,
do you know everybody? Jeff. Oh yeah. Jeff's a great guy.
Jeff has these cats that he fucking loves, and they're like street cats.
Ricardo? Yeah, Ricardo. Great dude, Ricardo. Yeah.
You know
How
what?
do you know everybody? You know everybody.
He's been here for a long time.
I'm just saying, dude.
You know what? I don't, it's weird. I do know a lot of people. Like
You
the
do.
most random. It's like because I'm the type of guy that if I go to like a party or
You're very personable.
yeah, I just start
You're
talking.
very personable.
I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
What
What's
the
this?
fuck's up?
Yeah.
And you're memorable, bro.
Yeah.
People remember you.
People remember me sometimes for the wrong reason.
Okay.
But they remember me, and it's like, you know,
It's a fucking Headbangers Ball, dude.
I know. Raj's got the VCR tape in his room.
dude,
Shows to all ladies.
I got a story for you. How about this one?
You got a story for us?
This is a good one. This is going back to
for everything.
This goes my Headbangers Ball. It's a good one. This goes back to my Headbangers Ball days.
How long were you VJ for, by the way?
5 years.
5 years.
Almost 5 years.
Did you and
yeah, I got laid like crazy.
No, but the integrity thing you were talking about earlier. Hold the story for a second. Did you ever find yourself like were you like, oh, this is corny? Like this is corny.
After Scott Ian
called you out.
Yeah, then I was like,
okay.
And then I used to say, I'm like, I used to argue with my producer. I'm like, I'm not reading that because I had to read off a teleprompter.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, this is. I'm like, no. Like,
did you get fired or did you leave?
So I got fired once. I got fired once for smoking weed.
I should have been encouraged.
Well, here's the story.
Back then, definitely not.
Yeah. Couldn't read the teleprompter.
No. Here's the story. So they put me. They wanted me to do towards the end. They wanted me to do more on-air stuff like MTV Spring Break and all this shit.
Oh, okay.
Because they needed another heavy metal. They needed a long-haired dude. You know, they Polishard left and they didn't have anybody that kind of looked like Seattle grunge with the long hair. They really they didn't have any. So I'm like, sure, I'll do it. So I started doing some. They're called overnights, which I was the VJ at night. I would tape it in the daytime, but like they would play me from like 1 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I got the morning shift again. And then my big break came on, I did a Halloween show with Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, the host of MTV Raps, because they used to bust my chops all the time, like long-haired white dude, but I would know more about hip-hop than them because I was, I was so...
You kind of grew up in it.
You're a fan.
Well, yeah. And then, I'm also the one that put together Public Enemy and Anthrax to do that whole thing. So I kind of created rap rock, and I should be collecting a check from Korn and fucking Korn Machine because it wasn't for me. But besides that, so I got this job to go to Miami to do Spring Break. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So I'm there, and then I'm hanging out with some chicks. I'm smoking weed, and I got fucking yelled at by the producer, and I got sent home. She's like,
oh wow,
like literally, like she goes, you're going home. I'm like, yeah, in 3 days. Like, no, you're going home tonight. And I'm like, I'm shooting tomorrow. Like, no, you're not. You're done.
Wow.
So I go back and I go home. Like, what the fuck? So it sounds so Hollywood, but then 2-3 days later, my producer, Headbangers Ball, was like, yeah, Dom, you pissed off some people. You weren't supposed to do that. I'm like, okay. And then I told my agent, who was, don't ask me how, her name was Lisa Luzmar at that time. She was my agent, but she was also Keanu Reeves' agent, Jason Priestley's agent.
Wow.
So I was like, so I told her, and then I don't know what happened, but then at the same time, I can't mention his name, but there was another very, very big VJ that got sent to rehab for the 3rd time for cocaine. Oh, wow. And MTV paid for it.
Oh, God.
And and she made some calls, and then next thing you know, she's like, yeah, you're going back to work on Monday. I'm like, really? And like, yeah. And then I went back to work and everything was fine.
Back on at the
spring
break?
Yeah. No, not back to spring break. I didn't do this is back to Headbangers Ball.
Yeah. Right.
And by then I had like 8 or 9 months left on my contract. So I just wrote it out. Then I got fucked by Kurt Cobain, rest in peace. He was the homie. But Headbangers Ball was over, and they were doing a new show called Super Rock. Yeah. And Super Rock was like this hybrid of rap and metal, and it was cool. It was everything me. Dom, you're gonna be the host of Super Rock. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be the host of a show, and I get to play Biohazard and Public Enemy, and I'm like so fucking psyched. Like, who's the first guest? I'm like, oh, they're like Faith No More. I'm like, oh my God, Mike Patton. Oh my God, I'm all hyped. 2 weeks later, right before after our last Headbangers Ball show, 2 weeks before the Super Rock's supposed to tape, my producer's like, hey, I got some bad news. I'm like, what? You're not going to be the host anymore. I said, what the fuck? Why? What did I do? And like, it's a long story, but I was like, who's the host? Jackie Farry. I'm like, Jackie Farry? First of all, if you've seen her, you'd be like, whoa, number one. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, I see. Jackie Farry, at the time, was Kurt Cobain's nanny. So Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love got her like, hey, just like Ricky Rackman got the job because he was Axl Rose's boy.
Huh.
So then she got the hosting job. and it lasted two shows because she was horrible.
Oh wow!
Whoa.
And that was it.
That was it.
And I was a dick because then after the 2 shows, Dom, do you want to be a co-host? I'm like, no, I'm the host or I'm not doing anything. Fuck you guys. They're like, but I'm like, no. And then, okay, you want to be the host? And then my agent was like, no, fuck you. You want to be the host? You're going to pay him like at the time, $90,000 a year. Because at the time, the highest paid VJ was $88,000 a year. Actually, Kurt Loder was making more, but like VJ wise, was Karen Duffy. She was making $88,000 a year, and they were like, it was back in '96.
That's a
95.
That's good.
It's a good paycheck,
right?
For a 20-something-year-old dude,
right.
But it's just insane to think about, like someone who's like a public figure on TV.
On TV, in the grand scheme of things. But I think it was like scale because these VJs, people thought they worked all these hours. Like if you were
they just show up and do their thing.
Well, you would film. In hindsight, when they're making $90,000 a year, $80,000 a year, they're filming like if they did the morning VJ throws, like, hey, this hour we got this, and this, and they would film in one day. They would film a whole week's worth of shows.
Right.
So they're working one day
a week,
maybe 2, and you're making $80,000 a year.
It's not bad.
And then you get like I would make money like when I was
But they probably couldn't do anything else.
Right? Yeah, I used to DJ and get money to DJ, and they would put Dom Headbangers Ball, and and I would get more money and like, hey, you want to do an appearance? Like I remember one dude. There was a club called Raw in Queens, and this guy was like a cokehead mafia boss, and he was out of his mind. And it was a shitty club, but it had hot chicks, really douchey looking dudes. It was like a heavy metal club called Raw in Queens, and I did a lot of shoots there. And my producer's like, why do you want to shoot there so much? Like, your uncles owned this other club, L'Amour's in Brooklyn, which was like the fucking pinnacle. That's where you... But I used to go there because the one time I went there afterwards, the owner is like, yeah, he's hanging out, he's doing coke, he's fucking buying me drinks, chicks, he's telling the fucking bartender, you need to go fuck this dude. Like he's just like it was like out of a movie. And then he gives me $300 cash. I was like, what's this for? He goes, it's for bringing the fucking crew. He goes, anytime you bring the crew, I'll give you $300 and I'll give you, and I'm like, okay. So every month I would do a shoot there, like, oh yeah, $300. And then I would go there during the rest of the week. Fucking free drinks for me and whoever I'm with. Fucking my friends did I didn't do drugs. My friend did all the drugs, and it was great. It was like for fucking 8 months. It was the best fucking time ever. It was like it was great. It was like amazing. Huh. So yeah, dude, it was pretty fun times, man. It's like kind of surreal when I look back.
Yeah, I bet.
I was this schmuck kid from Brooklyn, high school dropout, like nothing
on MTV.
And it's funny. I got the job on MTV literally 3 weeks after this. My girlfriend at the time of like a year and a half, 2 years, dumped me. And then I remember like I got on MTV and I saw her brother at a club. And he's like, oh yeah, Karen, like I was watching TV and she heard your voice and she came in there like brushing her teeth and she was like, what the fuck? He's on TV. Well, I gotta call him and like and this and that. And I was like, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I don't need a girlfriend now. You crazy? But then like an idiot, I got a girlfriend like 2 years into it, like an asshole.
So after that whole thing went down, then that was the end of the VJ career.
Yeah.
That was the end.
Yeah, that was the end of it.
You had a good run though.
I had a great run. I wish I would have known more.
How'd you end up in that position?
This is funny. It's like going back to what I did in skateboarding. So I got the job at MTV because from working with various heavy metal bands and whatnot and knowing a lot of people in those bands.
As a roadie.
Every time I would go to shows, whether I was working or not, especially it was always in New York, you would see the same bunch of faces, and these were MTV executives. But you look at them and you know, like, okay, they're not like, they were like a little bit older when I say they were like early 30s.
But they're paying attention.
Right. Yeah. But then I would always be nice to them. Like, hey, I would always say hello, and I met them. Hi. Oh, hi, Dom. Hi, Nancy. Hi, this. Oh, you guys need passes? I always get them passes. I was always nice. Yeah. And everybody, and they saw, like, everybody loved me. All the bands, like, oh my God, that was a character. And then one day they came to me. They're like, hey, literally, they came to me. They were like, hey, and it was at, I remember the show. It was at the Ritz in New York. Here's a crazy bill. It was House of Pain, headlining, taking out this unknown band, Rage Against the Machine, and some and Biohazard, and I was there, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, blah blah blah. At the time, I didn't want to work being a roadie anymore. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do, and I was just working at Rush Management and Def Jam, just being Leroy Cohen's like would-be assistant, just getting paid just to fucking brush his cat. I used to go home. I used to go to his house and brush his cat.
Wow.
Legit. That was my job.
You really do like cats.
Cam,
I love
you.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, I would love a job in MTV. I'll sweep. I'll file. I'm thinking like
Behind the scenes, whatever. Yeah.
Basic shit.
Yeah, basic shit. So then they were like, okay, we'll call you. Okay, cool. Then 2-3 weeks later, they call me like, hey, meet us over here at this bar called the Scrap Bar. I'm like, okay. I go there like 8:30. What's going on? I'll go, yeah, just hang out. Ricky's right there. I meet Ricky Rackman. He's kind of a dick to me because like, who the fuck's this kid? Like, because he was like the king.
Okay.
And I was hanging out, and they gave me a clipboard with some questions, and I'm thinking, okay,
They never told you what they wanted. They just brought you in and just handed you a fucking clipboard.
They didn't tell me. They gave me a clipboard, and
Weird.
then we went to the next spot, which was it was the Academy, was the club, and Scatterbrain was playing with Ugly Kid Joe. And I go there, I'm hanging out, and the camera guy comes and he starts like giving me a mic. I'm like, what's this for? He's like, oh, we're miking you up. And like, you know, I'm like, for what? He's like, you're going to be talking to the kids. You don't know what you're doing? I'm like, huh? Well, no. I get the producer. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, oh, you're going to go into the crowd and you're going to talk to the kids. They seem to like you. I'm like, I'm not doing that. They're like, oh, no, Dom, trust me, please. I'm like, nope, I don't want to do it. Like, trust me, just do it. You're such a lovable thing. I'm like, no, I can't. And then I seen my friend Whitfield, who was a singer of Ugly Kid Joe. He's like, hey, what up, blah, blah. And he's like, you're going to work for MTV? I'm like, I guess so. I was like, oh, come on, let's go fuck around. I'm like, all right. So then the cameras follow me and that was my audition tape and I did it and MTV loved it.
Okay.
And then literally they gave me a job that next week. And next thing you know, I'm like the man on the street. And I start asking kids questions because I was like their age. And like, I was very like, hey, you know, almost like fucking, I don't care. And I was really good with the crowd. And that was it. I got the job and they fucking loved me.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
And I didn't want to do it.
You never know who you're going to be around or who's watching you.
And it's all
or
because
whatever.
I was nice to people.
Yeah.
And they just like, yeah, we got
Right.
something for you. We were watching you. And
Yeah. If you were an asshole, never.
No.
Right.
But I was really, really nice, and they saw that I knew everybody, and I was very helpful. I never asked for anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Never asked for them for shit. Like before I even knew. Even when I knew, like eventually I knew they were from MTV.
Yeah.
For months, I never asked them, and I would see them at the time. It was like every other week there was a show, and I never ever asked them for nothing. I would get them passes. Like, you don't have passes, and I'd be like, oh fuck. Hang out here, and I'll run backstage like, you don't understand, MTV. I need. They're like, yo, chill out, Dom. I was like, just give me give me a laminate. I would get a laminate, and I'll walk in backstage, and they're like, oh my god, thank you. So it was like, you know, so that they remember that, and then they, you know, they paid it forward.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man, it's pretty. It was a pretty it's pretty interesting life. It's when I look back, it's like, wow.
Well, it's crazy to see. You've seen all the bands or hip hop start from nothing to the biggest thing. That's a wild thing to watch.
I mean, yeah, dude. It's again, it's pretty surreal. Like just seeing stuff like unfold. Like I remember like coming out here when I worked for I worked for Def Jam. No, I worked for EMI, and Vince Neil's wife, Charisse Neal, had a club on Santa Monica Boulevard called Club Ugly at the Dragonfly. And I remember going there and I remember seeing Ice-T at Pink's. Yo, what you doing? Like, you gotta go come check out this fucking band. I remember their name, but they're fucking good, blah, blah, blah.
Give me a chili dog.
And I go and I have the flyer at home. It was this bill this night. It was Rage Against the Machine, Korn, Deftones, all unsigned bands. And I'm sitting there watching them. I'm like, and I try to sign the Deftones, but then I get fucked over by my friend Guy Osiri, who signed them because I was the idiot and I told him about it. And he's like, oh yeah? And he signed them. And then at the time.
So you fucked yourself over.
I
then.
fucked myself over. But then my friend Jeff wound up managing Korn. And then it was funny. I was selling Korn demos and Korn t-shirts at Brooklyn House in Brooklyn before the album came out. And then, Rage Against the Machine happened and,
Yeah.
Yeah. And
She
it's,
went nuts.
yeah, that went nuts,
Yeah.
But just to see that I have that flyer still and it's like, it doesn't register with me. It's like seeing like, oh yeah, unsigned bands, Guns N' Roses with Aerosmith, it's like, what? It doesn't make sense,
Right.
but that's how it was.
At the time, yeah.
At the time, that's how it was. I mean, seeing like, I remember getting paid by this guy named Fat Harry, who was Fat Harry was
I like that name.
he was
Fat Crab.
Fat
Fat
Crab.
Harry was
he skinny or was he fat?
He was super fat. He looked like the comic book cartoon guy from Simpsons. That always reads the
ponytail.
Yeah. So, he was paying me money because he was helping this band at the time, and the band was Limp Bizkit without DJ Lethal from Florida. He was always booked them, and Fred knew a lot of the bands because he was a tattoo artist first, Fred Durst.
Yeah.
And he would tattoo all these bands, Korn and Rage and not Rage, Biohazard and all these bands. So through me, I kind of put him in Michael Guido, who's at the time Jay-Z's lawyer. Now he became Limp Bizkit's lawyer. And then they put him with this guy, Jordan Shore, a rich guy who was just trying to be in the music industry. And then Jordan Shore was doing something and he paid Lethal. And next thing you know, Limp Bizkit happened. And when it first happened, they did Faith and it didn't really work. But then they did Nookie the year later or 2 years later and then it was just like, once I heard that song,
Oh yeah.
I was at MTV. This is like my last year at MTV. I was like, yo, this is when I heard, and I'm not comparing the both because one was like godlike and one was just like, it was very gimmicky, but like, you hear certain songs over time that like you hear
it's coming at them.
like you hear Jump Around.
Oh yeah.
You knew Fight For Your Right to Party. You knew
Who let the dogs out?
Exactly. That's Who Let the Dogs Out. Back That Ass Up.
Right.
You knew.
Yeah.
Smells Like Teen Spirit. You knew. Once you heard Nookie,
Right.
you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You knew this was going to be, but I didn't think it was going to be that big.
Crazy.
It was just like,
Who are you? Yeah, like, dude, what the fuck,
Some
bro?
Forrest Gump shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's some
crazy.
serious Forrest Gump shit.
it's kind of like what it is in a way. Like I'm sitting here on this is the bench and I'm eating chocolate with the various people and
the feather comes and goes away.
I know.
You know what though? But I
tripping.
I'm really like, and I'm not saying this. I'm being very, very forthcoming and honest here. Like, I'm really happy that I'm sitting here talking to you guys because I think what you guys are doing is really cool for skateboarding.
Thank you.
And to be sitting here in the same chair and the same table with some of my idols and legends, and this means a lot to me. And I mean this because for you guys to put me in the same group as the people that have sat here, it's like, well, I'm not an athlete. I'm not a brand owner. Like, I'm not like, as far as brand owner, I'm not like I'm not like Andrew Reynolds who owns like fucking Baker. I'm not like, I'm not Steve Van Doren. I'm not Jim Thiebaud. I'm not,
but you are a part of skateboarding.
Yeah, you've helped a lot of skateboarders, the community, and
you're still doing it.
I'm still doing it, but I'm really happy.
Skateboarding in Los Angeles wouldn't be what it is without you.
And
like LA Dave and
LA Dave is, LA Dave is a fucking icon. And you know what? The one shop that made me want to open up here, swear to God, because they were dicks to me, but they were more dicks to my friends, was a shop, if you remember this, called Atomic Garage.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that.
It was on Melrose. It was a total backdoor operation.
Yeah.
They sold, but I went in there coming from Brooklyn, having Brooklyn House in Brooklyn. I used to come here and be like, man, they had all these fucking brands and everything was like a candy store. It was so big. And I was like, fuck, and all the people and all this shit. And then they would backdoor so much shit, made millions. And I said, you know what? I want to open up a store over here one day because of this and the way they treat it. And then when I opened up, I took all their workers, a lot of their workers, and they tried to shut me down and they couldn't because I found a loophole how to get the product. Because back then, if you were 2 or 3 miles next to
radius,
right, you couldn't get it.
Right.
But
it's like a 5 mile radius.
Yeah.
right, but what they did they had a company called Moontide, which was in El Segundo. So they had 2 locations. So the stuff was getting sent to El Segundo.
okay.
So technically it wasn't getting sent to Melrose. I found that loophole and I was getting stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how, and I remember opening up there and then getting brands like Alphanumeric and then having the Japanese come. And I'll never forget this, seeing the Japanese gray market movement. I remember getting fucking probably $10,000 worth of all Alpha, because Kareem rode for Alphanumeric.
Yeah.
And Alyasha was friends of mine, and Sal Masakela and Omar.
Crushing it.
Dude, we got all this stuff in, and then I went to lunch, and my 2 workers were there, and I come back, and I see I see a van parked in front, and I see these 3 Japanese dudes, and they're just throwing shit on they're fucking taking everything and throwing it on the counter. And I talked to my boy Dave, who used to run Atomic Garage. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are they doing? Making a, no, dude, they're gonna take, I'm like, fuck, take what? Dude, look what they're doing. They're gonna take, dude, just can you go in your office? I'm like, you know what, man? Fuck it. If they make a mess, dude, I was like, I lost it. You're fucking cleaning this shit up. I went in the office, smoked the joint, I come back out. Dave's all smiling, check the register. And I'm looking, it's like $30,000. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? Because they bought all of it. And I look, and then the store is empty, and I call up Reem. He doesn't answer. And he comes to the store, he's like, yo, where's all the stuff? I was like, Japanese boy. He goes, what the fuck? He's like, you didn't like hold anything? We have nothing in here now. So we had to close for a couple of days because we had like half our store was like all Alphanumeric. We had nothing to put on the shelves.
Wow.
But they bought all of it. Then we got it again.
Take it back to Japan and they sell it for,
Yep.
Yeah.
So you have to I learned you had to limit them. Like, oh, no.
Oh, no, don't limit them.
Well, Reem said limit them. So I had to, instead of taking basically all of it, leave about 20% left so we could put back on the shelf.
Well, it was almost like Alphanumeric. It's like a flagship store for them almost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember getting that. I remember getting audio.
Oh.
When it was like fucking popping.
White Hamiltons.
Way before that.
The Tony. No,
it's a good shoe.
It's Kenny Anderson shoe.
Kenny Anderson. And then when Circa came out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The 901, the zipper.
Yeah.
and then we had the original, we got the first one with the metal mesh. And then had to change it to like nylon because the metal was like cutting people.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So it was I remember having that. I still have a pair, and it's just seeing all these trends. And then there were certain shoes that I look back now. You guys remember this, but we carried Vita.
Oh yeah,
Vita.
Jason Dill one.
Yep,
and then we carried Rex. Remember Rex?
Yeah.
With the gel in the heel.
Terrible.
And then we used to skate, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Then it, eventually it just wore out, and the gel would come
leak out. Yeah.
Yeah, that company didn't look that cool for some reason. I don't know why.
One shoe
They had
did.
money to get all the dudes. And
Yeah,
One shoe did, and then we had like Duff's, which was really good. Duff's was a fucking big seller, and then Reem got mad at me because I ordered this one company, PTS.
Oh yeah, that company.
Dan
sucks.
Rogers.
PTS,
Dan Rogers.
yeah.
Yeah. You remember
That
that?
was his company.
Well, he rode for them. He was
rode for them.
He rode
okay.
for them.
Yeah.
So I carried PTS for a second.
They were garbage.
Yeah, that company wasn't that
They were
cool.
garbage.
Yeah.
No, I know they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And then I carried
Two Fish?
no,
Bezo.
Castle.
Castle.
Remember Castle?
Castell.
Castell. Yeah,
Yeah.
Castell was sick though.
Castell was
No,
dope.
they were not sick.
I
No,
thought Castell-
one design was dope. Come on.
Ricky's shoe was good. Ricky's shoe was a ripoff of the Excel.
I thought there was some cool
no,
shit.
there
They
was
had a good
one.
team.
There was one that
They did have a good team.
Yeah,
They had a good team.
Ronnie Bertino,
Yeah.
Steve Olsen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually was sick.
OG, not OG Steve, Shorty Steve Olsen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
look
Soltec kill it for you guys too back then?
Yeah, the Muska shoe, the Jamie Thomas, the Costin was just like crack. The 1 and the 3, the Costin 1, the Costin 3. Woo!
Yeah.
God, Lord. And then the 23 Sals from Etnies.
Dude, hey, there's all this the 90s stuff coming back. Does that bring a lot of people to your store?
It does, but not enough brands are smart enough to. You're drinking milk? Is that milk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed that. I was like, wait, there's milk.
Yeah.
Not enough brands are doing it right. I mean, like it was crazy. Like when you look at StockX, which is a sneaker reselling app,
Stock, yeah.
and when the Hundreds did that D3,
Oh yeah, Fred Durst.
Fred Durst, it wasn't. They did it, and they got Fred Durst to do the commercial and all that. That shit sold out in like literally minutes, and it's on StockX for $300-$400 a pair.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And it's like, the DC links but not enough companies are doing it and doing it right. like I went to DVS. I said, hey, let's put back the Sean Sheffy model.
Oh wow,
I skated that a lot,
dude.
Yeah.
That shoe was.
Yeah.
I still have my pair, and like that. I don't want to say Keenan. The Milton 3 was a dope silhouette.
Yeah.
And then there's the Prophet, shoe, and like the Huff 5, and you redo these shoes because they're so fucking dope. Even Lakai, when you look at the old Lakais, the Carol Fosters, they're like so dope, and they're like, no, they don't get it.
They don't see it. Yeah.
Well, it goes back to the people working there. You don't think?
I think Carol is coming out with his shoe though.
On the Lakai?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of money you invest in to not know whether it's going to do good or not.
But you know what though?
It's a revamp though.
But here's the thing though. I think you're right. But here's the thing. For a shoe company, okay. I know that it costs $20,000-$25,000 to do the mold again. The uppers is nothing. It's the mold.
Right.
Okay. If you don't have the mold, okay, a $25,000 investment gamble, which more than likely, if you do the right silhouette and you do the right marketing, you're gonna at least break even. You won't make money maybe, but then if you have a hit,
but you have a story to tell.
Yeah, and it's a marketing. People talk about it and gets the name out there.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's the whole thing. It's like people are just like, oh, they want to sell 10,000 shoes. It's not gonna happen. But if you like DC did it right when DC did with the links. It was like 100 pairs, and like every shop got like literally 12 pairs.
Right.
Where do I get it? Where do I get it? It's gone. And then next one comes. DC had a line for 3 of the links drops. There was a line for a skate shoe.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't happen
in this day and age.
You got to do it right. That's the thing.
They did it right, and they opened up the floodgates. But then they did it a little bit too right. Then they're like, oh yeah, take it all, and then like they kind of like. They butchered it a little bit. They cannibalized. They flooded it, and they should have pulled it back. And I think they are. They're not doing any more links. They kind of like pulled it back. But I think S is in a great place to do it. I think they're in a perfect place to do it. I think skate shoes. I mean, Super went out of business, which is sad.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Because they had a lot of dope riders. I think Nike is on a huge upswing. Huge upswing. But it's sad. Do you remember back in the 90s? It was like you had skate shoe companies. That's what sold. Not Vans. I'm talking like in the beginning, you had Audio, it sold. Yeah. Osiris, it sold. DC, like every brand you put, it would sell. You had that customer. You had the kid that wore Emerica. You had the kid that wore, DC. It would always sell. You wouldn't like now. The skate shoe, I'm not talking shit on anything, but like, it's like some companies, like they take the same silhouette and it's like, it looks like a fucking Emerica Reynolds or it looks like an Excel and like they just do the same thing. It's like
copy everyone else.
Right. It's like
it's because the sales reps were going like, we need a Janowski, we need a fucking Reynolds, we need this.
And it's a black shoe with a gum sole or black shoe.
And then all the shoes are black with white sole.
Right. Yeah. Right. And it's funny, I did this thing like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I did like a Instagram post where I took 4 black shoes from 4 different skate companies. I put them on there and literally they all look the same. It's like, so
there's like no branding at all.
No, there's no branding. And it's like, how can you
differentiate?
Yeah.
Put that on the wall.
Yeah. And then, it's like, that's the problem. And, I think the world, and I'm not saying this because you're here, but I think it's time for like Castell to come back or S to do that, that's something different, but know that it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take some money. It's a marathon and you'll get a little bit. It's going to go like this, and you may get this home run and go like that. And then it'll slowly go down. Now's the time.
Right.
Late 90s, early 2000s is the time. And if you do it, you can definitely make a business where it's like, again, the halo effect where people are like, oh, S shoes. Because they tried to come back a couple of years ago with all that, but I think they were a little with the whole heritage stuff.
Oh yeah.
They were just a little bit too soon. It
hit, but it wasn't. Yeah.
It wasn't like that Grand Slam. Yeah. And I think like
timing.
It's timing. Like if they took an Excel. An S, doesn't S make what's the shoe called? It looks like a. Help me out here. It looks like a if S took a techie looking shoe like the Solo, remember
Look at the Scheme.
The Scheme,
Yeah. Okay.
but they offered it to 10 shops only, 12 pairs. You tell a story, you do a lot of marketing, you hype it up, and then you drop at these shops. You don't sell it, you just drop. That's it. You make no money, but then it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, but word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
And you start giving the cool guys who make a dope thing, and then well, I didn't get it. Shop number 4 didn't get it, but shop number 3 did. How do I get it? Okay, maybe your next run.
Yeah.
Next run you get 2 or 3 more shops, then another 2 or 3 more shops. Now you have a business on that one shoe, but that's the problem. They just like, oh, I want 10,000 pairs, and it's like it doesn't work.
The cool thing too is when you do something like that and you focus on like 9 or 10 stores or whatever, like you're putting your love and energy into those stores.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
You're giving back to stores. You're helping
you're
them.
giving back to them, and all of a sudden like that becomes a thing like where other stores like, oh my god, you did all this stuff with them, like do it with us now.
Yeah.
And now you can do it with this next 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Keep on going with it.
I think the time is now. I know it sounds stupid, sounds cliche, but I think now is the time where skateboarding takes skateboarding back. You have the Olympics and all that, but now
Olympics getting canceled.
yeah, well, yeah.
No, you don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, but now is the time where you know what the ashes. You have people like Virgil taking and not giving back, which I wish he would give back more. You have people taking, but nobody's giving back. Well, now it's like, well, hey, instead of you guys, like all these big shoe companies, all these skaters, waiting for one person to give them the scraps, you created this shit. Just open up your. It's like I was telling Kirk from Metallica. Listen, your last couple of records weren't like you have in the vault fucking million songs that were from the fucking and Justice for All, and just here your scraps.
Use your DNA.
Use
your
DNA. It's like I know that S or Soltec or DVS or DC, you have shoes that didn't make the cut. You have designs, colors that never came out.
Rework them.
Just rework. Just put it out there. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, revisit it and just try and like, how can we make this sell?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's easy. And it's.
I think the main problem is like for any company, whatever, they have these designers and they always want to try and come up with a new shit. They always want to try and like improve on shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh wait, that didn't work. I'm just gonna keep on going. And they don't.
A lot of people don't want to.
They don't ever revisit stuff and be like, how can we make this hit?
Designers want to make something new,
Yeah.
but they don't want to. Some people are like,
the
how
funny,
do we?
The funny thing is, a lot of designers they're like they think they're making something new, but like someone already did that, but it never fucking hit.
Yeah.
Well, you bring back your old stuff. You're like, how do you want to use that, but how do you go forward at the same time?
I get it. It's easy. It's easy. And how you do it? It's like what Dwindle does the best thing. When they send a line sheet, it's blind, it's blah, 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 blah. But then there's another tab, heritage. And you go in there, it's a small drop of 101. There's some old blinds. It's just like.
And the thing too is like, as a buyer for a store or whatever, and you're going like, I want this board, and this board. They're also like looking and going like, all right, well, these boards didn't sell. How can we improve on them, or do we just scrap them, or whatever else, and and try and rework them into the next line?
I mean, and you have to think also, people that own shops now, they were the kids in the shops in the 90s. So when they're looking to, they have their buyer, which is a young kid. He'll buy A, B, and C. But like, there's dudes that are in their late 30s, early 40s that, holy shit, 101 or like, it's like 10 years ago or 8 years ago when I was selling all the Powell reissues and all. It's like the dudes that were in their 40s, like, I used to have that when I was a kid. I'm buying it. So you know what? You're stupid not doing it, because you know what? Have your forward thinking for the new kids. See if it hits and you're moving, but then put a little bit of the old stuff, because the guys that are writing the checks at the store, those are the
15, 20 years back is, if you bring it back now, it's going to sell.
Exactly, because it's trending now. But then also the buyers,
it's always happening.
Right.
There's always
it's
that
a
cycle.
full circle, right?
Yeah.
And now is the 90s and 2000s. If you wait another 10 years, it's going to be the mid 2000s. You can
Mid 2000s is already booming.
The funny part is, there's a part like you said, like a couple of years ago, where it was like all black shoes. If you just gonna go back to that again, Like that sucks.
You can't.
Like I felt like there was such a plain time with
That's the
skateboarding.
ballet.
Yeah,
but you know what though? In 10 years from now, 8 years from now, it's going to be new again, because if you look now, look, you know what's crazy? Other than Lakai, there's no real skate shoes that I carry Lakai. DC I don't carry anymore, but let's say I had DC on the wall. There's Nike, there's Adidas, there's Converse, and there's Vans. Vans doesn't sell me, but let's say I had all 7 or 6. Okay, you look at all the shoes I have, and 9 out of 10 shoes is not the black shoe where it used to be. It's like different colors, grays, whites, blues, reds, and there's that black one. So now kids are going to get tired of seeing a red shoe, a gray shoe, a blue shoe, a white shoe, a brown shoe. And then eventually it's like, oh shit, a black gum. From this, it's going to happen, not just now. It's going to happen. Right now they want colors.
There's always that point where people are like, I just need something that's going to like match everything that I have in my closet too.
Yeah.
You know?
Black shoes, white laces.
And that kind of happens when you get in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to fucking like wear a white t-shirt, fucking black jeans and black shoes.
Yeah, dude. It's going to happen. I just think now, like, these 90s companies, they're just, like I was talking to Muska, why isn't Tony bringing back shorties?
Shorties never really left. They're still around.
I understand that, but my point is, you're right, but
they should have been doing backpacks.
Everything. Like, they should be doing backpacks. Like,
hardware.
Bring back the new Rosa. Maybe Rosa has a kid. Throw her in the fucking tub of fucking hardware. You know what I mean? Like things like that. So it's like, but you can't find Shorty's boards. They make the hardware. But they're not making Shorty's boards. Why don't they go to Muska? Hey, let's redo your board.
Yeah.
They don't want. They don't want it.
I mean, if I was Tony, I would go hard with the hardware and the backpacks again, and rebuild that again. And if they want to do another board brand, do it under a different name.
Really? You wouldn't do it on the Shorty's boards?
Yeah, because that's what fucked them in the first place.
The Shorty's boards fucking went nuts.
They went nuts, but at the same time, it's like Shorty's hardware, Shorty's backpacks, and Shorty's clothing was still going nuts. Anyways.
The clothing was going nuts.
It was going nuts regardless. And then when they brought the boards in, like they lost a huge portion of their team because like they were all. It was kind of like how Diamond was like sponsoring everybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, but like when Diamond shoes came along, they're like, oh,
that's different. Yeah, that's different.
But that's what it was with when Shorty's brought boards.
No, because Shorty's boards went
killed
nuts.
it. Yeah.
Diamond shoes did not kill it.
I'm just saying that, like, because Diamond Hardware, Shorty's Hardware, they had a huge team that, like, a bunch of different riders from different board brands. When they started doing boards, they lost all those other people.
Yeah, but the boards went crazy.
The boards went crazy.
And when Diamonds had it and they had a shoe brand, the shoes didn't do that well.
Right.
It's a different story.
Shorty's,
and I respect Diamond a lot.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
They built Shorty's on a fucking
hardware.
On hardware.
Bearings
but
and
when
hardware.
they started doing boards, it was built on a team.
Yeah.
And when that team,
that lasted until the riders
couldn't fucking produce proper video parts and everything, it died.
I mean,
but basically, I think what you're saying is they put all their eggs in one basket with the boards, and then once the boards started falling off, because all they had at the time,
they could have kept Shorty's hardware and whatever else going, and if they came up with like a different board brand with Muska and everything else, it probably would have fucking crushed it. Still,
well, Musk is doing his own board company now.
Oh,
you know,
sick.
he's starting Muska. Well, he hasn't dropped it yet, but he's going to. I think it's time. He's one of the only pros that.
He's in a good dude. He's doing great. He's in a great headspace.
I look at Chad as being like a Virgil, where he can be getting paid by multiple different brands to design shoes and clothing and whatever else for them. Like
he's true skateboarding.
Yeah,
oh my god!
Yeah, he is the true artiste, skateboarder. He's everything. I mean, he's my best friend. He's
the best.
He's the best. And you know, I just think I'm just curious to see what's going to happen once. If the coronavirus doesn't fuck everything up, to see what happens after the Olympics.
Right.
Is it going to be a fuck fest like, remember when Extreme Games happened? Extreme. Everybody was doing skateboarding. You don't know.
A lot of money to put in skaters' pockets after that, though.
What? Extreme?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I know that. I'm not saying that, but
it was an ugly time, but at the same time, a lot of people got paid.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting to see, is that going to happen again? Because a lot of skaters I know, and I think it goes back to one of the reasons why I don't carry shop boards is some of these pros, when I find out like they're getting
board royalties.
$1 a board only, or $500 plus $1 a board after 1,000 boards, I'm like,
It's sad. Yeah.
I'm like, how do you make a living? And that's why when you look at certain pros on the Instagram, they have 20 sponsors because 500, 200, 300, 500, 1,000.
It all adds
Yeah.
up to
It all
like
adds up. It adds up to like $5,000.
Yeah.
Or not only that, it's like where's this guy been? Well, he has a job.
And just
Yeah.
spread-
Yeah.
He has a
he
job.
spreads himself so thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
he's
right-
fucking working over here and trying to skate, film a video part. That's crazy.
Dude, like I'm filming my BP video finally after 25 years of doing our first video, and I have skaters that, you know, they do side jobs, but they can't afford to live. So you know what? I have a studio, a design studio. There's 4 kids sleeping in sleeping bags in there. I'm like, hey, you can sleep here as a bathroom, and you can't shower, but like here, like because they can't afford to. Either you work
Go
a
anywhere
job,
else, yeah.
or you skate, and this is like they want to skate. So I'm like, okay, here you go, do some side jobs.
I couldn't imagine when I was like coming up as AM and newly pro and everything, if I had to work another job
that'd
and
be
do all
crazy.
this stuff and then go on tour and take time off from my job to work and live
can't.
and then
You can't.
Yeah,
it's
you can't.
fucking nuts.
Things are the cards are stacked against the new generation, and you know what's funny? I had this conversation with
But the new generation too. At the same time, they also have the internet. They have social media, and they can build up these huge fucking followings where they actually have this leverage to fucking.
They have to learn how to monetize what they're
totally.
doing. Though.
But here's
But
a problem.
They have that leverage.
Yeah, they have.
But they're not using leverage. I had this conversation.
Some
with,
are like some people like some of these young kids coming up actually have more followers than the brands that they ride for.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, they're like, well, here's the thing. There's a new wave of like that fashion skater, the dude that skates in Jordans and has 1 million followers. But at the end of the day, they're pretty boys. I get it. It's a new thing, but that's they're not in it for the long haul. They're just a flash in the pan.
Right.
And I was talking to, I don't remember who. I think I was talking to Lizard King. And I was like, yeah, we need to get new blood in the shop and this and that, like some new fresh team riders. And he was saying, dude, it's funny, but like, we don't even get we used to get video submissions 100 a week. Now we get like 10 a month because kids nowadays, a lot of these kids, they don't care to be sponsored. They get they want the likes. They don't care about.
Yeah, they think if they tag you, you're eventually gonna like sponsor.
No, they just want the attention themselves.
They want the attention themselves,
They
and
want-
it's like there's some kids that have are really good. They have their own board brands, and it's like, what are you doing? But then it's just it's a very, very weird time. Like I have one kid. I'm not going to mention his name. He rides for me. He's a good looking kid. He's on a board brand. But I'm like, what are you doing? Like, he's trying to be a model and this and that. And like, dude, he's so fucking, he's a good looking kid, but he's so fucking good. But all he cares about is doing weird TikTok shit and this and that. It's like, dude, like you should be going and fucking filming your part for your board company that is waiting for it. It's already 2 weeks late, and then filming for my video. You know what I mean? But and he don't care. He cares like, oh man, I met this chick. She slid in my DMs because she's like that TikTok thing I did, or it's like, okay, it's like
There's so many distractions these days for the kids,
my
and they don't
God.
know. It's like it's a different playing ground. Like
it is, and I don't want us to sound like old fogies, but I think
No, man, my TikToks go off. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even know how to do
know
a
what you're
TikTok.
talking
I mean, I have it, but I don't even know how to use it yet. And all I know is that I think skate shops have a huge responsibility to keep the sport alive, because if not, it's just going to keep on cannibalizing itself, and it's going to keep on going. It's there for the taking. And I think, skate shops need to step up and really support the scene and support the sport. And you know what? Sell your shop boards, but unfortunately, you're going to have to sell a lot of pro boards, because the reason why these pros have to have 2 jobs, or because they're not selling, the company's not making money,
Right.
because you're not buying. A guy was selling 100 or whatever 10,000 boards last year. He's selling 2,000 boards a year because it sucks. And
Well, it's so flooded.
it's flooded.
So
And you know
flooded.
what? I would love. Look, the price. A board costs $36, $37 wholesale. You tack on. I give free. I sell my boards $59. I just raised the price after fucking. It was $55. It's $59 now.
Oh, wow.
And I give free grip tape. So it's costing me
So
$39.
You're not making any money.
I'm making $20
Yeah.
on a board.
Right.
Maybe 18.
So to pay your rent, Just in boards a month.
I would have to sell 300 boards.
Wow.
Just to pay your rent.
Just to pay my rent.
How many do you think you sell?
I know, it's crazy. You know what's crazy? I was just talking to John Schaub at DeLuca. I sell, it's no shop boards. I sell pro boards. I sell about 230 to 260 boards a month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My one shop.
I thought you were going to say a lot lower number.
Yeah, that's
Over 200.
Okay. So you're almost paying your rent.
Almost paying rent on boards.
On boards.
On boards.
Yeah.
And that's complete. Not,
Sure.
That's a little
It's
everything.
kind of all over the little spectrum of boards. Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I look like today. Today's
You sell any of my boards?
We don't have your boards anymore.
What?
Sold them all.
No. That's a good answer. Good answer.
Today which is a Thursday, normal day in March.
Sure.
We sold 2 completes.
Wow.
And 3 decks. It was a blind board, a weekend board, and an all-timers board, and 2 completes.
Beautiful.
On a fucking Thursday.
It's great.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I feel like if I had Brooklyn Projects boards on the wall, I would have sold maybe 2 completes, but no weekend,
Right,
no
right,
all-timers.
right.
So I
Yeah.
don't. Let them take the money.
Dom,
Yep.
let me tell you something, bro.
I know, dude.
No. You don't know. You
Let
don't
me
know.
tell you something.
You don't know. You're one of the guests that we could sit here for literally 10 hours and talk about skate stuff, talk about skate shops, talk about the industry, shoes. I mean,
You name it.
you name it. We could talk about MTV.
Anal lube. And anal lube.
Oh, okay. Hey, you're not afraid to talk about things.
Yeah.
Or discuss a certain, which is, hey, I will say this: a lot of people come on our show and they don't like going the way, or they don't talk the way about the way you're talking. They don't like to, address certain things.
Dom doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I mean, Roger, I have nothing. I have nothing for anybody to, take from me. It's like, what are you gonna do to me that already hasn't been done?
Well, you're just super transparent. You're just
I
super
am.
transparent. You're real. You don't. You don't play games.
No, and I'm.
Yeah.
The fact that I say it again, the fact that I'm here, it really means a lot to me because, you guys are all like in your own right legends in the industry.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? In the sport. I mean that.
And I know you don't use that word legends lightly.
No, I really, I don't really call it. I mean, I call very few people legends, but you're very, you're all
legends.
We've been around for a while.
right. But again, to sit here, if you put it's almost like, I feel like I'm like some small rinky dink band, but then when I'm getting my picture put up in the Staples Center, next to the Rolling Stones and Metallica and Britney Spears playing there, like I just played here and it's like wow, it's pretty fucking. I'm in good company, and the fact that you guys had me here, I'm like when Don Brown, it's like, hey, you want to be? I'm like, I almost said, are you sure it's this Dominic and not like Dominic Walker or like fucking something. No, you'd be great. And those guys like you a lot and, you have a lot of stories. And I think, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I would love to do it. And, I got my ass over here in traffic.
Yeah.
And,
We actually were expecting Dominic Walker to walk. I don't know who.
I'm sorry, dude.
Who you are?
No, but it's been amazing, bro. And I said, I feel like we could sit here for hours
Yeah, no,
and
we
talking
can.
about
No,
and bullshitting and
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah.
it's great. It's great because I think you owning this, Brooklyn Projects and doing your thing in Brooklyn House. And I mean, you've had a lot of years in this game, and a lot more to come.
Yeah.
Are you content right
He's
now?
also branched outside of skateboarding.
That's true.
Yeah.
Are you content? Are you happy with where you're at right now?
I could say no.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm getting there.
Good.
One of the things I'm really looking forward to is I got down with my friend of mine, Steven Dorff, the actor. He's he's on Deputy on that show on Fox, and most recently True Detective. But he knowing me and knowing my story. Long story short, I got represented by Paradigm, and now there's a script on my life story.
Oh, wow.
Being shopped, and there's 2 companies that are like, holy shit. So I have meetings next week with them. So I'm hoping in the next 6 to 8 weeks, I'm going to ink a deal about
That'd be amazing.
my life, and you know, it'd be like the real mid-90s is what I really want to call it, because I have like a lot of stories of what happened, and then I think this year it's like I'm having stuff like, you know, between Complex putting me in the top 10 streetwear shops and showing love, and then the 100's doing this big thing with me, and then I have like collabs with like, you know, Nike going to be coming out, and Spitfire and FTP and all these brands like showing me love. I think now's the time, and doing the 9 Club. I just, you know, I guess I want to just tell my story and just like let people know like what I've done, whether you like it or not, at least you acknowledge it and know that, okay, I'm not some just like weirdo. Like I've done a lot, and I never really asked for anything in return. And since it's not being paid forward, I'm like, well, okay, then I'm going to put it out there, and let's call it how it is. And, you know, so hopefully out of this, people will be like, wow, like, I think a lot of good will come from this. Hopefully like people like somebody at Vans would be like, why don't we sell it to fucking
basically, you want to work with everyone at the end of the day, right?
I'm not. You know what? I'm not. You know, maybe I didn't. You know, like I have my pride or whatever, but you know, I want to work with everybody. You know, I want to work with people because it's not only for me. Like to go back to Vans, it kills me that I get like X amount of kids a month. Well, I don't have Vans. Right. Yeah. Because the kids that don't know me, oh, your shop sucks. But then the kids that do know me, they're like, well, Vans sucks, but why aren't they in here? Because, you know, like I get people saying Vans not here. That's whack. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a two-way street, and it's like things like that. It's like, you know, I just like scratch my head. It's like I'm a staple in the community. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm still a staple, and I'm gonna be here long after everybody else is gone. Sure. And
that's when they open.
Dude, you've been here before people were here and after. Yeah. That's fucking surreal shit.
You know what's crazy? So we did this, and I'll make it short so we can wrap it up. But I did this party with the 100s at my store again. We just did it, and I was outside, and
whoa, shit, that was random.
That was random. That's the ghost saying, "Hey, I gotta go to sleep. Shut the fucking lights off."
Soundproofing just
fell off the wall for no reason. It's been there for 10 years, hasn't just decided to fall.
It's here when I moved in.
It's getting old.
So we had this party, and it was so like heartwarming, but it was kind of like amazing. There was like literally in my shop, there was like between the backyard and the front of the store, there was like no lie, 300 or 400 people in there. It was just fucking packed. It was old face I haven't seen.
Free beer?
Huh?
Free beer?
There was some free beer, free tacos, but it was a lot of people was hanging out way after the free food was gone. Yeah. And we sold a bunch of shit, and then we're outside, me and Ben 100s looks at me and goes, dude, this is crazy. Like, I've seen people I haven't seen in like 15 years, but they're out. It's like, but there's 3 generations of Brooklyn projects here, because there's kids that were there that were like, they're in their late 30s that were there in the beginning of 2000. Mm-hmm. Then the second wave of the Fairfax kids were there. And then now these new kids that are like 17, 18, 19. So it's 3 generations. I mean, it's wild seeing like, even there was kids there from Brooklyn House that are in their late 30s, early 40s with their kids.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, this kid comes up to me at the party like, yo, Dom, what's up? I haven't seen you in so long. I'm like, who the fuck are you? He's like, it's Miguel. I used to hang out at Brooklyn House, remember? And this, I'm like, oh my God. I haven't seen this kid. Last time I saw him, he was like 12.
And now he's a fucking 12-year-old himself.
Yeah. And now, no, he had a kid. Yeah. The kid was like 9 or 10. And the kid's wearing a Brooklyn House hat, a Brooklyn Projects hat. I'm like, yeah, man, we got passed the torch. And I'm like, holy shit. It's like, it's so weird. I mean, I felt kind of like sad because, you know, I always thought I would have a family by the time I'm 35, and I don't have no kids, but like, it makes me feel good seeing the kids that were kids at my shop. You know, just recently.
Growing up, yeah.
Just recently, I just saw a whole group of them. This is a crazy one. This was insane. I just saw a whole group of them. They surprised me. The kids that hung out at the Brooklyn store.
Whoa.
Which literally...
In New York or?
What?
In New York?
In New York.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them since 95. I'm not like, and then they surprised me just 2 weeks ago. They all, like 5 of them out of the 10, 5 of them came. I didn't recognize any of them, like Dom. And I'm like, it's me, Anthony. It's me, Hector. It's me, Gabby. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, Aviva got, she just got married. I'm like, wait, what? Like, it's just, these are people that were like 14, 15, 13, 16. And I haven't seen them, and to see them as like grown adults in their late 30s, early 40s. I'm like, whoa, that was trippy. It was trippy. Yeah. It was really trippy. And I was like, man, that's insane. And then, it's just like the fact that I've grown with generations of people. Mm-hmm. That means that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want this to be like Rip City was a staple in the community.
Yep.
It should never go
where
away.
I got my first board.
When I used to come out here, I would in the late 80s, early 90s, I would go there. It's like it should not go away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a landmark for the community.
Same thing. And Val Surf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been there. It's like staple in LA Dave's.
Yeah.
I want to be here. I want like 30 years from now, people still be a Brooklyn project somewhere. You know what I mean? Where it's like it continues.
Yeah.
And that's I want to leave a legacy. I didn't do this and give up everything and sacrifice so much because people trip out. Oh, I'm not rich. I still do this for the passion. I want to throw it back. I said I can't, because if I throw in the towel, then there's nobody in LA holding down skateboarding. Yeah. Realistically, there really isn't, and I don't want to go away. Like I want to be the last of the Mohicans. I want to stand there and I want to be there forever. So that way it continues what I want to give back to the skateboarding community. With the ramp I had the big ramp. I had to take it down. I fought the city. The city wanted me to take it down, permits, this and that. I spent $20,000 of my own money, on legal fees. Had to take down or I was going to go to jail. Wow. And then now I figured out a way how to do it with a smaller ramp, but then eventually I'm going to get a bigger ramp. But who would do that? Like, who would fight the city? It'd be like, I'll take it down.
Right.
No, I'm going to fight you because this is for me, this is for the community. I let people back there to skate. Not everybody and their mother, but I let kids who are skaters.
Sure.
If you want to skate, you can come and skate. If you want to do there and sit there and drink beer and be a waste of life in a shit bag, you could do that on the corner. Like no skateboard in hand, you don't want to skate, get the fuck out. It's like I'm like in Apocalypse Now, like you can either fight or you could surf. Get your, you know what I mean? So you can either skate or you can get the fuck out. So I really am there for skateboarding, and
it's amazing.
And I want people. I think I want the brands to know, because sometimes it gets lost in the sauce.
Sure.
There's a few like, but then when the people above, they're like, hey, how come we're not? What's going on? Like they're doing it. I'm doing a movement,
Right.
And I appreciate it. Again, I really appreciate you guys having me here.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
This means a lot to me, more than anything. It really means a lot to me. This is definitely I could say this is a top 10 highlight of my last 15, 20 years. Because,
amazing.
Wow.
No, I mean that because like being on this show, you guys started it, and you only have the cream of the crop, legends, and people, iconic people, and very, very relevant people that I look up to, and some that I'm like look at and go, holy shit, and then here I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So. It's cool. I really, really appreciate it.
Of course, bro. We, like I said, we fully enjoyed having you here, and I think I could play you in the movie. I think I would be a good Dom.
Like
you know what I'm saying? Or are you trying to get Vin?
I thought
trying to get Vinny?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going right there. I didn't think of him.
Right. I'm trying to fucking get a fucking job here.
I don't know. We were talking about that actually. Like, who's gonna play you, the young Dom, and then it's gonna go
I could
back.
play the middle-aged Dom.
Were you ever skinny as Chris?
Yeah, I was when I had long hair back in the day. Yeah,
a wig. I could get the wig out. Yeah. It'll be pink. But,
extensions. Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Can we give you some 9 Club stuff
yes,
to take
please.
home?
Yes,
that'd be amazing,
Yes,
bro.
cool.
Kelly, will you please do the honors?
XL, right?
XL, baby. Okay. I haven't been a large or a medium in fucking 25 years. 25 years ago, I was a medium. 15 years ago, I was a large. Now I'm an extra large. Thank God I've stayed extra large. I haven't gone into the double X fucking...
No double X.
No.
Let's stay away from the double X.
We're trying to get back to large. I want to be like Sal Barbier.
Oh.
Fit and trim. Slender Vittles over
Perfect, man. Perfect.
You know?
Dom Pierre program.
Yeah. Listen, you don't... I mean, you can work out. You're not... I don't take you for a workout guy. You're not going to the gym and doing shit, are you?
I used to.
Yeah.
Meal prep?
Huh?
Meal prep?
I didn't do the meal. I did the meal prep. I tried to go plant-based for a while.
Okay.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's difficult.
But I started going to the gym. I started working out at Vinny Ponte's gym, the dog pound.
Dog pound? Yeah.
But Brandon Beeble trained me a couple times.
Amazing.
I can't. It's like having Tony Robbins on steroids. Come on, dog, let's go. Come on, dog.
Thank you, bro.
Oh, I got a cup to put my beer in.
Listen, we have... Oh, God. I wish you would have come... This is great that you came, but I wish you would have come when we had more stuff. We're running. We are trying to...
We can always send him stuff.
A T-shirt is more than fine, and the cup is for my coffee
Listen.
and my Nespresso.
First of all, Dom DeLuca. Look at this.
Thanks for coming, Dom.
We have...
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sticker pack.
This is... I want to see this lined up below the coping of the vert
Put some
ramp.
on the ramp.
You got the vert...
Or the koi fish.
Is it
Next to
vert?
The koi fish.
I want you to put this on the
Just
koi.
feed him.
I want you to put this on the koi. Do you have names for the koi fish? Please tell me you do.
I have two, and one Sean White got, and I have one now. I have is Biggie Smalls.
Biggie, I like that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Biggie Smalls.
This is for Biggie Smalls.
So I'll try to put this on Biggie Smalls.
Put it around it,
I'll
yeah.
pull them and stick it, see what works, and I'll take a picture and send it to you guys.
No, send it to the lady who came in.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
We're kidding. We love animals
Yes.
here.
No, we
we're
do.
just
No.
joking.
She's
We're
just a nut
joking.
job.
No, I know. I'm just joking. You don't put it on the fish. Here's a 9 Club pin. It's a magnet. It's a magnet pin. You can put it on your fridge. You can put it wherever you want.
And my T-shirt.
Switch flip. Switch Manny. Mug.
Who's doing the switch flip?
Kelly.
Roger.
Kelly.
Chris at one upon a time did that trick.
Switch flip. It's courthouse stage. Courthouse stage. Switch flip. Switch flip. It's in yeah right.
He's still
it's in,
thinking.
Yeah right.
It's not in yeah right.
What is it in?
Yeah,
It's
right.
in the chocolate.
Hot
Hot
chocolate.
chocolate tour.
Hot
You don't even know what
chocolate.
video it's
Have you seen that video?
Which one?
Hot chocolate tour?
Yes, I have it on
Solano.
VHS.
Okay, VHS.
So loud.
But you have to take out your VH1.
Yeah,
you have to take out your
my
MTV
MTV shit
to
now.
put the thing in, you know.
I put that all on fucking disc. I have it on the fucking cloud. I'm good.
Still using that to get some pussy or what?
No, I got a
There's a-
girlfriend now. No, I got a girlfriend, and I didn't use that to get her either. Thank the fuck God.
Here's a 9 Club XL shirt.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, when we get the new stuff in, I'm gonna come hand deliver.
You know
like
what?
like a 9 Club sweater
He's been
for
to my
you.
store. He's been to my store.
Yeah.
I've been to your, bro. We've had chocolate signings there,
Oh yeah,
bro.
we did. That's true. That's right, we did.
The fucking guy with the memory over here can't even remember me at the shop.
Because you were so quiet and you were trying to chase some fucking tail around, the cat tail.
Like literal cat.
Little cats.
I was just wondering, what kind of advice can you pass on to other skate shops that are like trying to come up and trying to have the longevity that you have had?
I think, like I said before, like, you know, number one, have your own brand, but support the skate brands, because without the skate brands, it's like, there's a saying, it's like almost like if you chop down one tree, you got to plant 10 more, because if you keep on taking, you know, the trees, eventually it won't be no trees in the forest.
Sure.
So I think to have a viable business and to have a prosperous business and a longevity, you know, don't rely so much on just the bottom line, making an extra dollar. I think you should support your skate community, but support the skate brands and carry your shop boards. I understand that it's marketing. You make your money, but there's other ways to make money. Do shop grip tape, do shop T-shirts, stickers, socks, but leave the wood for the pros.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's how they make their money. Like I said, you know, that's going to continue because, you know, the more and more that board brands go away and pros go away, who's gonna like push skateboarding? who's the face of skateboarding?
Yeah.
There won't be any, there won't, think of it as like
Instagram kids.
Well, think of it as Tony Hawk. Yeah, but like say if another video game comes out, you have no pros because there are no more pros, because no more companies.
Sure.
There's no more icons to look up to.
Yeah.
You know?
Think about it. It's like, you're right, there is no more icons. I mean, I'm not talking shit, but I think we've come to the point, and I don't know why, maybe social media, but there's no new generation of icons. Even in music, like right now, who is the new Metallica? Who is the new Jay-Z? There isn't. Who is the new Kareem? Who is the new Muska? There isn't. It stops at like maybe Nyjah. You know what I mean? Tory. But
P-Rod.
Yeah. Right? No. P-Rod and Reynolds. But that's like late 90s, early 2000s. I'm talking about now. Okay, you got Jamie Foy, Ishad, but there wasn't like it's not a whole stable like it was 15 years ago. Right. 15 years ago, there was 100 people you can name. Now, there's probably 20 that you could see carrying the torch. And that's because, it's like board companies, they don't have the budget because they're not selling boards to put on the new dude and caress him and make him the champion, unless he has that God-given talent and he does, contests and gets out there. But at the end of the day, you have to you gotta not, number one, shops, don't buy into the hype. Like we were talking before, perception. You could see on Instagram, like, oh, this brand's doing this and this, but then you know what? You get it, and it's not this and this. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think support the core brands.
Well, the brands that have been around for 20.
That's what I'm saying. They're not
do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Do it for the right reasons. They're not going away. It's like
right.
I still carry Baker. I still carry Deathwish. I still carry DGK. I carry Real. I carry Crooked. And I mix in with the all-timers, the Weekends, the Strange Loves.
Most of the brands you're buying from, are you buying directly from them, or are you going to a distributor?
I never used a distributor. Sorry, Reggie. You know what I mean? I used a distributor back in the 90s, Eastern Skateboard Supply, or South Shore, when it was hard to do a distributor, do a direct. Yeah. But I go direct.
It became pricey deal with shipping.
I go direct to the companies, and it's easy, and it's like, like I said, if you want to carry shop boards, by all means, but don't make your whole wall shop boards. Make 10%, 15, 20% of your wall shop boards, make the other fucking 75, 80 like brand names. Yeah. Make your money on the t-shirts. Make your money on other things. Grip tape. I have Brooklyn Products grip tape. I sell the shitload of that.
Right.
I sell Brooklyn Products t-shirts like it's going out of style, and you make a better profit you make more money on a t-shirt than you will on a board. But me making a t-shirt, I'm not taking away money from an Ishad or a fucking a Neen Williams or a Lizard King. I'm not. But I am
from the brand, but not the pro rider.
Not the pro rider, but even the brand, like skate clothing doesn't even sell like it used to.
So you really support pro riders? Do you buy team boards though?
I barely buy team boards.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I mean? I buy the pro boards.
Yeah.
I may buy one logo board, and usually the logo boards are cheaper.
Yeah.
But I don't. I really don't. And I don't know why. I just want to maybe I just want to help the pros out.
So you probably know a lot of them. So
I know a lot of them.
Boys.
Right. Yeah, but it's like when I buy some real boards. I don't know anybody on Real. I don't have any homies, but I buy all the pros.
Yeah. It's like chocolate. They don't even make team boards. Yeah. Girl and Chocolate. No. They just do pro boards.
Pro boards because everybody needs to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. And even Deathwish, I don't buy the Deathwish
team board.
Even Baker, I don't buy a Baker team. The last Baker team board I bought was for the new video, and that's the only team board I bought. And I just buy pro boards. And if I don't know the pro, I just buy it because let them get the $2 or $1.50 or whatever they get. You know what I mean? I want to help. And I think that's a major part. Is that's how you support skateboarding. in my own opinion.
Yeah.
You know, there's other ways to make money. You know, listen, a lot of companies, I'm not saying they give me extra special love, but they do give me a little bit of love because they know this motherfucker. Like, I remember talking to Eric Ellington, and he's like, dude, do you know that he was like, I think he was talking to Reynolds or somebody. He's like, you're like the only shop we know that doesn't sell any shop boards. That's crazy. How do you do it? I was like, I don't rely on shop boards. I make my money from the sneakers, from the streetwear, from the Huffs, that's how I make my money.
Right.
If I'm just going to carry hard goods, you're going to be out of business tomorrow, bro. You know, get your diamond clothing, get your fucking Huff clothing.
Better for you on t-shirts.
What?
The profit's probably better for you on t-shirts.
Way better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some skate shops I visited in the past, it's like all hard goods, and it's like, where's your soft goods? And it's like there's no real nobody's running in to buy skate t-shirt. I mean Thrasher at one point because it was the hottest thing, but end of the day, nobody's running in to buy skate shirt brands like they did back in the 90s. Yeah. So it's like there's other brands you can carry that kind of mix that will bring a certain clientele in that will buy.
Sure.
Brooklyn House, guess what? It wasn't the skate shop that was paying the bills. It was the rich Guidos coming in buying the Fresh Jive, the Pervert, all these streetwear brands. They would come in and drop they kept the lights on and allowed me to have the skate shit so I could support the skate community. But you can't, that's why shops went out of business in the late 2000s to like the mid 2000s was because you didn't, if you didn't have Nike and you weren't carrying streetwear, the only brand that's helping skate shops is fucking awesome by giving them something. But even they are like pulling back a little bit, going more direct to consumer and whatnot. So it's like,
which would make a lot of profit.
Right.
Yeah.
But so if they take it away, then you find it, what else? Okay. I'll get butter goods. Boom. I'll there's like, I'll carry some weekend stuff. I'll carry some Strangelove stuff. I'll carry some all-timers clothing.
Or you start your own brand.
Or then start your own brand. Yeah. It's easy to make sweatshirts and t-shirts with your logo on it and sell it. Yeah. Make your fucking money.
And a lot of kids around you that come into the skate shop want to support the skate shop and want to represent the skate shop in their local little town.
Yeah.
It's the best way. You know what? You get more representation by a t-shirt than a skate deck. You know why? When a kid goes to school, he can't walk around with a skate deck. Sure. He can wear a t-shirt. Oh shit. That's
you get even more of a hat.
Yeah.
Or a hat.
Yeah. Because a t-shirt, a kid's going to wear it once a week maybe. A hat you're going to wear it every goddamn day.
Yeah.
Every goddamn day. Boom. So that's my advice.
Okay.
And work with the companies.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if I buy 10 boards, can I get a 10% discount? If I buy 10 sets of trucks, can I get a 10% discount? Most companies give you discounts when you buy 20 sets of trucks, you buy a case. It sounds like a lot, but you'll get a discount and then you'll have trucks. You won't have to order every 2-3 weeks. You'll order every 6 weeks, but then you get a discount.
Right,
Spend the money, just stock it. It's not going to go out of business. If you have a case of Indies or a case of Thunders, it's not like you're not going to sell.
Indies are good for like months.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
same with like hardware and Barons.
Well, it's like going to Costco. You're buying in bulk.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And
I haven't bought toilet paper in like 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
And
because you have no butthole.
Yeah. People that don't watch our other show are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
But it's there's a way to
stumped dog. What the fuck are they talking about?
But there is a way. Like I think skate shops, now's the time for them to take back the industry, take back the business. Active closed down.
Yeah.
They're coming back.
They're coming back.
They're not done.
They're coming back, but it's going to be 3 or 4 stores.
It's limited, yeah.
But
and mainly online.
And that's where probably most of their business is at.
I get they're coming back, but end of the day, it's like, you know what? Now's the time to really go. Because even the cool guy brands that want to be direct to consumer and only sell to themselves or only certain shops, now they're knocking on the door like, hey, you want to carry our brand? You know what? Let them have some humble pie. Like, yeah, I'll carry your fucking piece of shit brand. I'm doing you the favor. You have to remember a lot of the times these shops, you're doing as much as they're doing you their favor, you're doing them the favor by having a place for a kid to come here and see, oh my God, this is this board. You know what I mean? Right. You can't tell it from the internet, you know? So we all need each other.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. And that's where brands have to realize, being direct consumer, you know, pigs get greedy and get fat and get slaughtered. You know what I mean? You want to be greedy, you're going to get killed. You want to, just share the wealth, you're going to live a long time. Because the fucking pig that's not fat is going to be the last to get slaughtered. The fat pig is going to get slaughtered first, and that's going to be the bacon.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
But that's the thing. So it's like, I think everybody has to work with each other. And it's a two-way street.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's not like a brand like, hey, I'm going to sell you all this shit, but if it doesn't sell, oh no, you got to eat it.
Right.
No, if it doesn't sell, you got to take some back, or you got to help me market it to people to know that I got it, so they'll sell. The days of just like, oh, I bought the brand and oh, come and get it. No, unless it's some crazy hype brand. And you know what? To all the hype brands, they should sell. Forget about Brooklyn Projects. Fuck it. Take me out of the mix. They should sell to the cool core shops and drive business to them.
They can easily do some sort of like sponsored Instagram sponsored things to you guys.
Or like, you know what? When I did carry DC, one of the coolest things was like every time Josh Kalis's shoe dropped, he went out there and he fucking tagged everybody's shop.
That was rad.
That helped.
Yeah.
You know, Travis Scott Nike SB, they gave it to certain shops that, like I said, I watched it. They went from like 5,000 followers to 15,000 followers because they tagged them and and they showed this is available here.
Show them love,
And show them love. That's all it is. It's nothing. It costs nothing. Like, what's the big deal? And that's what's gonna make a skate shop work.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's gonna work. Or otherwise, skate companies don't help the skate shops. Then the skate shops, well, I gotta make money. I'm gonna make my own boards and then 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's a trickle down.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. It's like, don't
be smart about it now.
Scratch one another's backs.
Literally, I probably could sell 100 boards, Brooklyn Projects boards a month. I get kids all the time, every day. Hey, you have your shop boards? No. Oh, and then the kids that they can't afford it. You know what? I have some older boards that are like maybe 3 or 4 weeks old that didn't sell. You know what I do? How much you got? Oh, I got like $35. I go, you know what, dude? Take another $5, find it. Here, I'll give you this board, $39 out the door with free grip tape. I'll lose $1, or you know what? He's not buying it.
Break even, yeah.
Yeah, he's paying cost on it. Maybe I lose $1 or $2, but he's buying a board from a company and he's repping it.
But then he's going to go out and tell his friends, yo, I went to Brooklyn Projects. They were amazing. He gave me a board, brand new board, $40.
Dude, I've done that. I have boards that kids come in. Oh, you have used boards, you have blanks, you have shop boards. No. How much you got? Oh, I got like $33, $34. You know what? I have some older ones here. Take it. I'll lose the $5. It doesn't happen that too often. But when it does, fuck it.
Cool, you're moving an old product anyway.
I'm moving an old product, and if I make an extra $5, if I lose $5, it's okay. It's moving stock, but then this kid ain't buying. He ain't going down to the next shop and buying a shop board. Yeah. That's not helping skateboarding. That's my advice.
Yeah. I love it.
Can you do us a favor? Can you talk to Kareem Campbell and see if he can come on our show?
Absolutely.
What about Bieber?
I'll call.
Let me ask you a question right now. We're going to end the show. Do you think Justin Bieber would come on the show and talk about skating and just rap out with us?
You know what?
You know him.
Yes.
You know him well.
I think, to be completely honest,
yeah,
I think it'd be hard to get him to come to Venice, first of all.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
He'd love Venice. He's been down here to the park.
He has, but I think coming to somebody's house, I think he's just
gets weird.
Yeah.
Really?
I think if you went to like a studio, like a WeWork space or whatever.
Oh, if we had a studio.
Yeah. I
really? So that's so funny because I feel like people like coming here because it's like a skate house and it's not a cold studio.
I like it. I'm just saying him, but I'll make a phone call as your new manager.
Thank you, bro.
I'll make the call. I'll get a couple of people. I'll make a little list.
Yeah.
We'll just check it off. Okay. Yeah. Yes. No. Yeah. And then I'll make my phone calls and we'll get them on here.
Perfect.
And then what you could do is when I have like a Bieber here, I'll be like, this latest episode is brought to you by DeLuca.
Not even Brooklyn Project.
Dom DeLuca.